I'm gonna go live. I have to avoid the F-bomb.
It happened like 5 times when I tried to play against it, where it would hard summon Fridge, summon Searcher to my side of the board, and the way you know how Searcher works.
Blows up your board if you're not playing a scrap.
Yeah, it blows up everything on the field that isn't scrap, and since it can summon to your side of the field, he'll just summon Searcher to your side of the field. Oh, that's Regeki. I can do that every turn, so I have to out the Fridge, which I can't because I'm playing a deck that can't really spam the board very easily. So I just lose because he's playing a monster that's too big.
Oh, I think I should mention this. I was like the one in the tourney that consistently played scrap multiple weeks over.
Yeah, Axe knows scrap combos. That's why I said I understand vaguely how scrap works because I have seen it played. And I know I played Karakuri for a week or two. Anyway, hi, we're kvetching about Master Duel. So basically what's happening right now, chat, because we're live. I realized we were like 10 minutes past the deadline, and I'm like, shoot, I should get started. So what's going on is I am assembling a notepad list of every Naturia monster. It's long. That's why it's taking a while. We're gonna probably some of these will go by fast, some of them will not. I already looked at a card. I won't tell you what card name on mic yet, it's a spoiler, but I already looked at a card and I had a physical sound of pain. I audibly went, ugh, looking at its face.
Maybe we do some in bunches?
We may be able to speedrun a few of them, yeah. I'll have to double check, but I'm trying to assemble the list right now, and as you can tell, only Vesper and Axe are here. Or Vesper is not here. I don't know. Quantum superpositioning. The banished
Robin. Hey guys, it's me, Robin. I'm here.
Your mic's way nicer than Robin, but okay.
No, this is what Robin sounds like when Robin finally has a good microphone. No,
I sound less like me because my voice is hoarse, so I'm Robin today.
Yeah. Loth and Dallas are currently watching a Kamen Rider movie in our Discord simultaneously while I am running this stream. So please shame them in the YouTube chat and possibly on Discord.
Join the Discord, join that chat, and then start publicly shaming them in front of everybody.
Don't do that bit.
It's not like we planned to do that movie like 3 weeks ago.
Well, we don't know these things. I don't know anything about this.
I did.
Well, I mean, for me, though, I planned the stream, and nobody objected when I said I would be doing failed Portrayal. Dallas even said, I'll probably be there. Like, David's at work. That's why he's not here. He might show up on mobile like an animal later. But no, if you actually join our Discord and join the chat, do be careful. Dallas has mod powers, and he will absolutely use them to kick you out if you shame him.
He will, but it'd still be funny.
You can also shame them by giving me money. Give me money to show their shame. Show them how much you like me more than them because I am here. Anyway, we're going to continue to yell about Master Duel, and I'm going to continue to write down Naturias because holy shit. Okay, that's all of we're up to Hidden Arsenal 3 right now.
The True King Karakuri, I should say, where it's not really True King. Like they're playing Lethal Sagem and VFD, but they really don't have ways to turbo VFD.
Oh, thank God that they don't.
I still don't know how True King works.
How True King works is they're
right?
They're dragon rulers, but balanced. I say with the biggest air quotes.
They are definitely True Kings. Are definitely you know those dragon rulers that were really iconic and stupid powerful. What if we did that again, but slightly less bullshit? Slightly, and then we give possibly the most bullshit rank 9 extra deck monster.
Yeah, what all the True Kings do is you destroy monsters in your hand, and I don't know if all of these do it, but I believe the gimmick is that if both monsters you destroyed to summon them are the attribute they are, they get an effect. Now Lethal Sagem banish a 3 from your extra deck.
Yeah.
With different names, which is just rude. It's just rude. And VFD, the rank 9, that I'm sure his name is True King of All Calamities. If you want to know why it's called VFD, it's because that's his name in the OCG, which I believe is some kind of biblical reference, if I remember
yes,
right.
We've discussed this before, I think, on chat, because until he got banned, True King of All Calamities was a major meme card because it is one of those hilariously unfun cards that any deck that is a rank 9 turbo deck can make easy.
Plus, it's The weirdest thing is I think it's also meant to be like the final boss of a storyline. So yeah.
Yeah, because it's
I mean,
true.
like the two kings don't really have a storyline. Unlike I'm sure every archetype has a generic aesthetic to them. Like we're seeing in Master Duel, where like I didn't know the monarchs had this like eldritch, nonsensical like they just roam around the universe.
The approaching
and
army of
destroy the world.
destruction.
I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah, they
it.
just destroy things.
And then the Heavenly Monarch rebirths the world so they can destroy or something.
Because that's how Yu-Gi-Oh works. Everything is fucked, but don't worry, we'll make a new thing that'll be less fucked, we promise. It's a metaphor for the trading card game, guys. It's a literal metaphor. Oops, we broke it. Let's ban all those old cards and make new cards. That'll fix it.
I will say of the destruction creation like archetypes, I think Element Sabers are actually kind of the coolest because of the fact that the elemental lords are just literal forces of nature and not sentient beings who crave violence.
No, they're just...
No.
When the elemental forces are out of balance, they show up and fuck
The Sabers
shit.
have
And
to keep them in
humans were
line.
like, how can we make this not bad? And then they made the Element Sabers.
Yeah, which I think that's an actual cool way to kind of go with this idea of nature being this gigantic force of devastation, but we can use it for good. And,
Or the
and
you finish.
no, that was all I had to say.
And then I like the card cards where it's like they're basically magic and Goku robots that then become their own self-sustaining society.
Yeah, that was rad. Having completed that
The
one on
Golden
stream
Gears.
earlier today. Like, it's just interesting. Same with Gladiator Beast. It's just like, yeah, they're gladiators.
You should
And
also
then they're
definitely-
ghost gladiators. And I'm like, this is actually, like, really interesting.
They have naval battles and shit too.
Well, actually, Axe, if you didn't know that, that's true. The Romans were fucking lunatics. They would flood the goddamn Colosseum and replicate naval battles in it.
Wow, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, no. It's...
Yeah, you should
Nuts.
definitely save the Giria one for a first time view on stream because you're like I'm sure people have already mentioned like the aesthetic it has and it's very obvious.
Yes.
that it's
70s robot,
thought
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
But it should like the actual like storyline that it tells should be saved for a first time
It's pretty
stream.
great,
Okay,
actually.
I can do that because
I
I'll probably
adore
be
it.
back to it by Thursday. So I'm probably gonna butt my head against gold either tonight or tomorrow and see if I can make
Also,
it to
I think
platinum.
you'll like. Sure, anyway.
I
I most
just
assuredly
made
I
it
will.
there
I doubt
on
so.
the back of Full Power Spiral.
Shiranui are also pretty cool.
Oh man, I wish
They-
Spiral had a thing.
So I assume at one point they well actually they could do the dumb thing they keep doing where they give the opponent the other deck, but one of those decks in Shiranui has to be Shiranui Mayakashi, right? They literally have crossover cards.
Oh, no, Omega, it's worse than that.
But that would be good, Dallas.
No, I mean it's better than that.
Dallas,
Oh,
you are
okay.
peaking. Dallas, you're
Yeah,
peaking.
you're peeking a
Oh,
little
sorry.
bit.
But
But,
no, one of the decks is Shiranui Lich.
Oh my god. Well, I guess I get to learn how to play Eldritch.
Oh
But
no, you meant
also-
your decks. No, that's the
Oh
opponent.
no,
No,
no!
you get
Dallas,
zombie
please,
revolt.
please
No,
don't
wait,
tell
no,
me Pot of Duality into IO, please.
No, wait, listen. You get Baldur Zombie World.
Well, that's rad.
But-
Okay, fucking A.
but
But
so-
like,
so
I'm just, I've
there is
seen
a
several
problem with that,
Eldritch.
though.
I've seen several. I just want to say, I've seen several Eldritch duelists play their game plan on ranked. It involves a lot of Pot of Duality, search, IO, vanity, whatever the busted ass trap card is, and I just cry.
The
So I'm
problem
hoping
with
the
Zombie
VA
World,
doesn't do that.
the problem with the Zombie World deck is that you're playing against another zombie deck, so it doesn't really actually affect anything.
I have
It's just
noticed
for
that
Baldur
the mirror match nature of this does kind of like not help. Like when for Megalith, for instance, the Megalith field spell, ritual monsters period that would be destroyed by battle the first time aren't, and it's just like, oh, in normal play this would actually be really good because ritual monsters are not very common. But in the context of this game, where the opponent is always at least playing some ritual monsters, this is bad for me.
But yeah,
But okay, the brain trust has assembled. Yes, somebody in chat, by the way, asked. Oh no, Loth, that's why I shamed you. I shamed you for 15 minutes about the.
Oh, yeah,
Kamen
no.
Rider.
It was funny. It's like it's a Kamen Rider movie. It's like it's the same length as an episode. It's like what?
Yeah, no, it was a
Wasn't
movie
sure.
that was 30 minutes. And
Interesting.
just a fight scene.
Weird.
The movie
Oh.
was a fight scene.
Oh,
A
then
fight scene that
they were-
lasted the entire time.
Oh, why they never said it was an hour and 40 minutes?
Mm.
Leon messed up with IMDb.
We got
Oh.
you got wrong intel. Okay,
But
but
then I would have waited. Then I would have stayed there for the whole.
you
time.
probably would
God
have,
damn it.
but then we wouldn't have had this funny discussion. We've been jawing about Master Duel solo modes until now. Somebody asked in chat, yes, because the Master Duel OST is, as the kids these days say, lit. I am using it as our bed music for this episode because it's fucking rad.
I'll say this: the most painful duels to play as in the solo mode, I think personally, there's one in Digital Bug that's absolute hell. There's one in Karakuri that is, I don't know why they did it.
Which one? Because I did all. Which one? Because I did all of Karakuri on stream earlier today.
Oh, I can't remember. I think it was like the Karakuri ancient. Like, it was one of the early ones that I just kept screwing up on. It might have just been bad luck, but
Well, there's only two big ones in Karakuri. It's Karakuri. Infinitrack is the earlier one, and then Ninja's the other one.
yeah, no, it was Ninja. Karakuri Ninja.
The ninja is bad. Like that's a literal meme deck. Like somebody said, hey, the way ninja monsters are written, they just reference ninja monsters. A lot of these Karakuri monsters are called ninja. Can we make that a thing? Yeah, sure. I don't know. They're level 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Never mind that our
Then
extra deck monsters are warriors only.
the infamous Laval Gem Knight, which you've probably already experienced.
Yeah. That one was just awful because it gives you a lava
What are you
engine
talking
for
about?
no purpose.
The Lava Gem Knight deck was based.
There's a couple in like the later. I don't know if you've seen what the later ones are.
I mean, I've seen what the archetypes are, but not the decks. Let's not get into it
Okay,
too
yeah.
much because I will be streaming.
and
so-
all of World Legacy is pain.
I have
I don't
heard
know.
of
I
it,
had
yes.
fun with it.
There is one World Legacy duel where you fight against Mech Knights with literal normal monster mash. It is.
Oh yeah,
terrible.
that's it's the beginning of the second arc. It's
No,
the-
it is. Anyways, we should actually.
So
do
I
what
want you
stream
to
is
ask
doing.
you guys because I have assembled the list in rough alphabetical and chronological order as we go through the waves of the Naturias. We will probably speedrun some of these because some of them are just
It's
flower.
It's this with googly
It's
eyes.
but
It's
some of them
rock
are
with
not.
googly eyes.
So we'll see what we get to. But I just want to ask you guys because, shockingly, Naturia, which debuted in Hidden Arsenal 2, which also, by the way, means we are once again in Dual Terminal. Enter the
look up
Dual
the Dual
Terminal
Terminal.
fuck zone.
We're in
The
hell.
when the
Dual Terminal
archetypes are
story.
bad and the lore is badder.
No. Remember the rule of Hidden Arsenal. Every Hidden Arsenal set, there's one archetype that's good and 4 that are bad. That's just the rule.
But I want to ask you guys because they did actually start with a decent pool of support. Do you want to start with the synchros or the main deck monsters? Because they did get both.
I think we
when
should
they
start
first
with the
came.
main deck ones because
Main
those are
deck.
most of the dumb ones.
We get beat.
Like, the
So
synchros.
I've already pulled up the lore, and I can explain in like a single sentence where Naturia stand in the
Go for it.
lore. Basically, the Naturia were just doing their own thing in the Dual Terminal while the worms happened, and then the worms showed up, and the Naturias turned out to just be the actual baddest motherfuckers ever because they had
Fun
Naturia
fact:
pieces
the
working on.
Naturia don't actually become important until much later.
So like
It's
I
a
would
different
say
archetype.
that makes
Right,
sense
so they
for
got the Dark
Naturia
Wolf tree.
because of their. Naturia are a weird archetype where they're not really good, but oops, that was pin, not.
If you've played through Duel, I promise this is the last time I'll reference it. But if you've played through the Master Duel storylines, you might know where the Naturia story ends.
yeah, Sacred Tree.
But the Naturia are an interesting deck because they have a lot of really weird, disruptive, and stally, and even stunny cards. So, it's interesting to go through them. So, this is our alphabetical first order. This is Naturia Antjaw.
It's an ant with like leaf wings and
It's a
googly
bug.
eyes.
He's holding a sunflower seed.
It's cute.
Yeah.
He's pretty cute.
I don't think there's much. I mean, calling it Antjaw, which was its Japanese name as well, is I'm not entirely sure why they went for jaw, because its mandibles
I
look
think Antjaw is
perfectly
like
normal.
a type of ant. I think.
It could be. I know there are jaw ants.
No, never mind. I looked up Antjaw. The only result is Naturia Antjaw. So
Yes. So
you just decided.
this is just a perfectly normal lad.
Yeah.
Naturia Antjaw's stats and stuff. It is a earth insect. So Naturia, by the way, are all insects and plants, and some rocks, I think.
and some beasts.
Well, Actually, yeah. Are there beasts in the main deck? I don't remember.
And I believe
There's
a
a
dragon.
Yeah, they have some. They diversify when they get to their Synchro and Fusion monsters, but their main decks are mostly plants and insects with some rocks. So it's one of those weird, like, we don't give a shit about types, but they are all Earth, and that is important to them.
Playing around rivalry.
So this is a level 2 insect with 400 attack, 200 defense. You don't give a shit about that. Here's what the effect reads. This is one of the first monsters ever printed, and you now understand what Naturia is about. When your opponent special summons a monsters, you can special summon one level 3 or lower Naturia monster from your deck. Yes, welcome to Naturia, guys. You just are like, hey.
Yeah. So Naturia Antjaw is interesting in that it's good in playing Naturia the way Konami wanted people to play Naturia, which means it's bad.
But it is very interesting to see that it's just like, you just summon a guy.
Well, I mean, like as people, some people can probably tell already from the first card. Naturia designed to be like a kind of a floodgate deck, but they don't really like they're not able to capitalize on that because usually during the opponent's turn they're not Chris
Yes, they are a very weird reactive deck.
The thing with Naturia is Naturia has one or two very, very good monsters that make a very, very annoying stun deck. But it's not Antjaw, so...
No, Antjaw just shows you a lot about what they are, though, because basically it's like... Also,
Like-
yes, Vesper, that's just a weird bot spam.
Like, there is a Naturia monster that was in a lot of meta decks at the time. And
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
point
sure
it out
we'll
when we
find
get to it.
But our next one is just Beetle. He Beetle.
It's a beetle.
Look at that boy.
I mean, he's
Where is
there's
Beetle?
you see the interesting comparison, right? Like he's clearly also part tree.
Wait,
Oh,
are we
yeah.
in chronological order? We passed up 2 guys.
We're doing alphabetical.
Well, this is
Well, even
chronological.
alphabetical, we missed beans and bamboo shoot.
Well, okay, so it's I'm doing it in waves and then alphabetical. These guys should these next like 8 guys should all be hidden arsenal too. But I
Alright,
asked
that's
if you
fine.
guys wanted to
just
start
wanna
with
make
main
sure
deck.
we're- I want to make sure.
Bamboo Shoot was in the a core set.
Yeah, dual rev, I think. And obviously, I will put the caveat. The list is probably not perfect. We will attempt to get close, but you know it gets weird. Anyway, Beetle is a Beetle. Is there anything to say about him? He Beetle.
He's got leaf wings, which is probably going to be.
It is infuriating that they didn't like. If they'd made Naturia a complete plant deck, and they could have justified it because it's made of wood,
Yeah, I mean he
Yeah.
looks like a,
Naturia
But it's an
probably
acorn
would have
beetle.
been a better deck.
probably.
but
Plants
they
were very
aren't.
popular during the
So-
Synchro era for reasons.
Although it would have made plants an infuriating as hell deck.
Wait till we get to the rock Naturia.
So, speaking of, by the way, usually you see, you know, there's probably some good ideas behind some first gen hidden arsenal archetypes, but they're not really perfect, and I think Beetle capitalizes this on a lot. So Beetle is a level 4 earth insect. It has 400 attack and 1800 defense. Its effect reads, switch the original attack and defense of this card each time a spell card is activated. So it's like, oh, it's on the defense, and then you can switcheroo to offense. But also, it
Yeah.
happens every time a spell card is activated.
I think
Which means
Naturia
that
are
your opponent
similar
activates
to Naturia are similar
Yeah.
to Ice Barrier, but not nearly as bad. A lot of their main deck monsters are kind of just average, as opposed to Ice Barrier's bad. But their
Yeah,
extra's
like,
pretty good.
If you're comparing the 2 decks as like floodgate decks, Naturia is way better at it, but also
I will also say I feel like
Ice Barrier
Naturia
goes for-
hasn't gripped the fan base the way Naturia did, because Ice Barriers had a structure deck that came out like last year. I think it was 21.
it was last year, but
Yeah,
also
whereas
just-
Naturia hasn't seen a card released since. Well, technically, it was not that long ago. It was 2015. They had a trap card in New Challengers, but that's the last time we heard from Naturia.
Well, and that also has very little to do with Naturia. It's complicated. We'll get into that when we get to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
We should talk
can
about
count
that.
too, technically.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
I would say the other major difference is that Ice Barrier's their stun effects revolve around famous spell and trap cards that are good because they're spell and trap cards and can't be used by monster removal. Whereas the Naturia stun are just actually good effects on random monsters.
Yeah, I will say a Nitria stun deck did make a competitive splash. Is a horrifying war crime of a deck that I'll talk about later. But
I also just realized looking at Beetle, I think its body is an acorn.
yeah,
That's possible. But now he is going away.
I think that is what its aesthetic is. It's an acorn.
He is going away because it is time for our title card, a beat.
Yeah.
True.
Beat.
This is probably the Naturia card that's seen the most play, because people just splashed it into Plant Synchro.
Yeah, it has a lot of utility. We'll get to in a sec,
It's
and probably
cute,
be very
yet
fast
creepy.
because there's nothing. I mean, there's some extra. I think there's some extra pizzazz on like all the extra flowers in the back, but it's not even really a. Do beets look like this? I always thought beets were red and a little more pointy, but
I mean, they do look like that because like that is probably an unwashed beat.
Yes.
You can't see he doesn't have a smile or mouth, but it looks like he'd be smiling ear to ear.
or he's screaming in pain constantly. Looking.
I have no mouth, and I must scream.
He has no mouth and he must beat.
Yes.
I mean, that doesn't look too off.
But I mean, he's not that traumatized. But it's just, it's a guy. I don't think there's a lot to mention.
Probably gonna get made into alcohol.
That's going to be a theme for a lot of the main deck boys for the first little run. Is that
Yes.
there's not much to say about them because they're just a plant or insect that just has Google eyes attached to it and looks kind of cute.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's
Yeah.
There's a couple.
lot to
There's a
talk-
couple. But for the most part, it should be fairly simple. And what you missed
There's a
was
lot
we
to
talked
talk
about an
about.
ant and a beetle. That's all you missed.
There's a lot to talk about with his effect, because as I mentioned briefly earlier, this guy is probably one of the few that have seen major competitive
Yes.
play.
And you will remember Cosmo Beat from, I think it actually got to some games in our Prog series, because here's what, so Cosmo Beat is a Earth Plant Tuna.
Tuna.
It's level 2. It has 1k attack and 700 defense, but its big thing is when your opponent normals or sets a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So when your opponent does a monster play, possibly on turn 1, if they just set one pass, you get a free special of a tuner, which is very important for Synchro decks. And it is a plant.
Yeah.
So it has interesting play, which the other cards have not yet really. Like Antjaw kind of
also
has
like
that
the-
effect, but it doesn't help you.
It's also like the best level 2 plant tuner released until like Sunvine.
He looks a
so,
little bit like,
like-
a Kirby.
It's so much better than. But
Okay.
yeah.
If we have run out of things to say about this beat, I
No.
will move to our next.
There's nothing wrong with this boy.
It was an added plant synchro.
He does look like Kirby. Someone in the chat pointed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a brown veiny Kirby.
Someone play Green Green right now. In your head, do it.
Well,
Oh,
speaking
God.
of Kirby,
Okay, we can talk about this one. I think.
yeah. So this is
What the
Naturia Guardian, a
fuck?
card you probably didn't remember existed, but here he is.
Yes.
Look at this Legend of Zelda motherfucker.
Sylvan Tree, what did they do to you?
Great.
Great deck
Yeah, it's like this looks like a reject for the original pitch of Sylvan.
Link, you have to go inside me.
This looks like Sylvan Hermitry got cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
basically.
Keep it in your pants.
What?
Oh, I realize why I don't know about this card. Holy shit.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess Axe doesn't remember having to go inside the Great Deku Tree.
No. I just thought you were just making it weird.
No.
If you could guess how, can I play a guessing game with the group?
Yeah.
If you could guess how many stars this boy is.
Is it like
I mean,
seven?
Nine.
he's
Do we
like
have anything
7
to
or 8, but
say
he's
about
probably
this
like
art?
2.
I mean,
It just looks like a sad
it's
Deku
weird.
tree.
Like the arms are actually really fucking weird. Like,
Well, because
It
the
looks
arms
like-
are vines.
because it
The
has like
weird
3 trees
vine
through
to
it.
the side looks like he's wearing like some kind of coat.
Yeah, like he's wearing some kind of like a Doflamingo boa made of
Yeah.
vines.
Like I've mentioned before, the Sylvans are one of my favorite archetypes because all their designs are really creative. This is like the Sylvans, but at home.
Yes. When Mommy Konami says we have Sylvans at home, this is what she's talking about.
Yeah, this is definitely large Sylvan at home vibes.
But yeah, like
but
you
yeah,
said,
no.
Alex, he looks like he
Yeah,
would
this-
be a 7 or 8 star, so I'm going to assume he's like 3.
He's a 4-star, 1600 attack, 400 defense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this gigantic tree does not sell that attack or defense vibe.
No,
or
like
star.
I was
No.
actually what I thought about was like with the like intertwisting. I'm like, this guy. What this guy should be is he should be the Naturia equivalent of like Mistworm. He should be like a 9 that takes like 3 mats, right?
Yeah, he should be like a Trishula synchro like effect.
But he's not. This is an Earth plant that's 4 stars. Dallas said 1600 attack, 400 defense. When your opponent normal summons a monster, this card gains 300 attack until the end phase.
He can become Gemini Elf.
He becomes
Yeah,
1900 on your opponent's turn only.
This wasn't even good when it was printed.
No. Literally play a 1900 vanilla.
I mean, like, and I do kind of like this idea of design of like he's got these two like different color vines that I guess are like different parts of the Naturia forest, and they've got hands.
Yeah.
But just nothing about it like vibes together.
yeah,
it's just-
like
It's 3 different things.
Oh, well, and I
Imagine
think
making-
also, just like we said, it's the fact that this art is assigned to this monster. Like, if this was like Naturia's main deck boss monster, who was like 2 tributes, even if he was bad, we would be like, okay, well, so he's like the boss tree. But he's
yeah,
not.
he
He's
is
just
the Great
a
Deku
guy.
tree.
And
Yeah,
it's
like-
weird.
like he just I can't help it because this definitely looks like Omega, could you pull up another card
Yeah, which one?
for me? Sylvan Sage Koya.
Sage Koi, I was going to ask, which Sylvan do you want you to pull up?
Yeah, because that's the one it's actually closer to rather than Hermitry.
Well, yeah, but
And this is
Hermitry
spoilers
people
for the
think
future fail portrayal, which we absolutely have to do on Sylvans because they are
Well,
wild.
that'll be a fail. Like, what's the opposite of a fail portrayal? I'll just be gushing about Sylvan art for that entire thing.
Let me make sure he's sized up appropriately, but look at this tree.
But yeah, this
Look,
is how you do
look at
Sylvan
me, look at
art.
you. We are not the same.
So,
Yes.
so
Like that one
Like,
actually
this
has
That
a
fucking
style
we are
to
not the
it.
same meme.
So I know this is a Naturia breakdown, but can we at least break down and say Toya while he's on the
I mean,
screen as
we
a
should
primer?
compare the two because
Sylvan?
look, this is like the Virgin Naturia Guardian and the Chad Sage Koya right here.
I mean, like,
Exactly.
like he's got. I love the fact that he has glasses for no reason.
Yes, he has pins
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah.
glasses.
And like the tri-braid.
Yeah, it's to let you know
He
he's
has, like,
he's
the-
a sage mon. Also, I think he is high on some dank kushman.
He definitely looks like he is.
No,
violent.
he is the Dank Kush.
He
He
the-
is.
You're right. You got to smoke some of my leaf mon. Then you excavate cards from your deck mon.
I mean, like he even has. Like, he kind of has the same kind of like tendril root vibe, but in a
Yeah.
way that makes sense with
Mhm.
what like of this guy being a living tree. Like it would
Yeah.
make sense for him to move around. Whereas Guardian looks like he is cemented in place and can't move. So if you just
Like
take a wide berth around him, he can't do anything about
Like,
it.
Guardian.
okay.
This is a deep cut. This is a deep cut, but Guardian looks like those diseased ass trees from Fern Gully.
I was
Yeah.
more gonna say, Guardian board looks like, it actually looks like a Zelda boss where it's like these other trees are like these corrupted trees that are around the tree, and you have to kill the corrupted trees to free the tree.
Just gonna
Yeah, and it
share
is
this screenshot
stationary,
with you
right?
guys.
Like you have to like approach it to cleanse, but it can't come after you. I think I've just
You-
realized saying that. I think the idea is that Natria Guardian is like the border guard. Like he's planted at the edge of the forest, man. You can't get through him to get to the forest. Fuck you, except you can.
Except it looks like literally anything can get through him.
Yeah, he's bad. And Sage Koya is just like, yes, excavate.
There's also like a Thunderbird in like Sage Koya's background or something.
Yeah, there's is that a ritual beast actually?
I think it is. I'm pretty sure Ritual Beasts
Fairly
have
certain
kind
it's a
of
ritual beast. Or
connotation.
it might be a
to-
smorg.
It could be.
It could be related to a number of archetypes, but all right. I
Some
think
kind of bird.
that was fun, but we need to move down my list to another champion of our time in art design.
Oh no.
Oh, I think I know what's coming next.
Oh boy.
So let me prepare. Y'all are not ready for what I'm about to drop on you. Are you ready for a rock?
Oh,
It's Naturia Rock.
it's
It's that
Very
boy.
smooth.
Rock.
Can we bring up another Naturia card with this?
No.
the other
get to it
Naturia
eventually.
rock monster.
We'll get to what's his face Cliff eventually.
This card is trash. This art is trash. I'm sorry. This is just so bad.
Here's the Rolling Stone. He is a stone that has gathered moss.
I mean, I don't
And
think it's bad. It's definitely like, it's just more of the same. Like this is Cosmo Beat, but a rock. It's literally
Yeah,
called. That
as-
doesn't have a funny name. Its name is literally Naturia Rock. It's a rock.
I
Yeah.
honestly prefer Beat over this, and that's mainly because it's small and cute. This one is just, I'm a fat rock.
There's a letter that looks like a third grader's project pet rock.
I mean, yeah, that's what he is. He's a pet rock, and there's not much we can talk
Yeah.
about. He does have tiny, stumpy arms and legs, which is cute. But like again, it's like that's just the Naturia
He also
pattern.
still has no mouth, and he must scream.
Yeah.
So
Also, he's kind of terrible.
Naturia Rocks is a level 3 Earth Rock, 1200. It has what is technically a quick effect. When a trap card is activated, you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. Why the fuck would you do that? So this continues
brain
the special summoning quality of Naturia's, and technically you can do this on your turn because it's when you activate a trap card. But it requires a lot of setup and probably isn't worth the extra effort.
I feel like this card might have been played in some jank-ass rock stun deck at some point.
It wasn't, because the other Naturia rock monster was played in that J-Gas rock stun deck.
Yeah,
I can see that.
figured.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
his stats are too bad.
Rock is a dead weight. Who could have guessed? Ah, here we go. Here's a good one
Oh, is this
in terms
Lane?
of art. Well, we're going alphabetical with what we got, but with main deck because you guys wanted to start there. So this one starts with R. It is Naturia
Rose Whip is the first one.
Rose Whip. Yes, Naturia Rose Whip was in
I thought
in that first set.
I thought Rose Whip was later because it's good.
No, Rose Whip. So this
That
this
bottle
PD
wants to kill you.
this dominatrix whip is bullying these insects.
Is it just floating?
Yeah, it's just
Low-key,
flying.
This is the flower. This is the rose from fucking Alice in Wonderland.
I love that guy to the bottom right. He's like, ah, fuck.
You're
So
not Alice in Wonderland,
we've
thank you,
added a
but-
mouth to this Naturia, and it was clearly a mistake.
Yes.
I
You've
did not
added a
need to
mouth
see
and
I did not need to see this flower's expression of
I don't
joy.
need to see a flower of teeth.
You've turned this flower from cute to menacing. Somehow.
However, this flower was played a lot in a lot of decks because
It's a
its effect
floodgate.
is a bitch.
So,
Actually,
oh,
Omega.
hey, I just realized Rock's in this picture. Look at him in the back there.
He's chilling. Can I ask?
Oh,
something?
he likes to watch.
Can I ask you to do something that I don't know if it'll be hard to do. Can you just cut out the mouth from this image and see if it looks better?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to like replace it with flat colors, but yeah, I can we
Yeah.
can trim out this. Let me zoom and enhance here. Let me do some fucking
No,
surgery.
honestly, I think the eyes are a problem too.
The eyelashes.
With the eyes, it has the eyelashes, but it's supposed to be feminine. You know, it's like.
But it looks mean. Like this looks mean.
That is
I
better.
think it
Oh my
looks
god.
better. I think
Yeah.
it looks better.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, this is way less sinister.
No,
Yeah,
it
it's
still
just
looks
normal.
a little mean, but it's definitely less. I want to eat your soul.
And I'll
Yeah.
zoom out.
But hold on, because I need to finish the edit here.
Oh, there's actually two.
Add the
Naturians
smile
this
back
picture.
in, but have it flipped upside down to be a frown.
I could do that, but I am absolutely going to repaint this and remove some of
Turn it-
this green, so I can just
and
cut
turn
it
it
out and
upside
post it
down?
in our. Well, I'm gonna post it blank in our Discord, so you can meme template this.
No. Okay, put it back on Rose Whip, but turn it upside down.
I'll do that
That's,
too.
that's
I
what
can
I
do
just
both.
said.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I need to turn you up.
Dallas doesn't hear people. Confirmed.
Hello, am I?
I'm sorry
Oh,
about,
you
by
were
the
at,
way,
like,
my shitty MS Paint
25%.
edit skills. I'm literally just using the paintbrush tool poorly.
I think that might have been from like a prog series where people were arguing. Because Axe is also at like 25%.
Interesting.
Okay.
I know
that's
Axe
why you
can
ignore
get
me, I
loud,
say.
but that is unusual.
I started to get loud because I feel like you guys ignore me. I guess that's a weird.
So I will post the template to you guys, and then we're just going to flip. Nope, that was horizontal. Flip vertical. No, hold on. I have to set
Oh. Thanks. I hate it.
my.
I'm gonna vomit. So dumb.
Okay, that's better. I like this one the best.
We fixed it.
Because this just looks
She
silly.
just looks upset
I feel
rather,
like
rather than
This
menacing or
looks
intimidating.
Yes.
Move on. I'm feeling a migraine.
Okay.
It's-
Let's talk about its effect because it actually does stuff. So this is a plant tuna, which is level 3. It has 400 attack and 1700 defense. And it has, oh my god, it has one of those effects. Fuck. Your opponent can only activate 1 spell trap card per turn.
Yup.
Jesus Christ.
This is actually, not to spoil anything, but this is in one of my current decks in progression.
Yeah, that's a hard ass. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind the cards we've seen so far, right? Like most of them just special summon them from hand when your opponent does something, gives you tempo even when it's your opponent's turn. Rose Whip is just like, hey, fuck you, buddy. And technically I think that's a reason why you could play Antjaw, because Antjaw would let you fetch Rose Whip from deck if you didn't have it right away. There's better ways to do that, obviously, but like, Jesus Christ, that's just
No,
rough.
that would be an effective Antjaw if Lone Fire Blossom wasn't a card.
Yeah, if Lone Wire Blossom wasn't just better.
Yeah, no,
So-
Rose Whip is, because if you can set up a once per turn spell trap negate with this card, yeah.
Now, its
Most
stats
recent
aren't
Naturia
huge, so
card-
your opponent can just punch it, but
But that's why there's other Naturia monsters who buff up other Naturia monsters.
Yes.
But you know what can't punch over it? Monsters that can attack under Messenger of Peace.
true.
Yeah,
Fucking Messenger
What?
of Peace.
I actually have a question, Omega.
Yeah, what's up?
Was the most recent card in the Naturia release their continuous trap?
Yes.
Okay, that's why, and when we get to that, I'll explain its lore implications because that has some huge lore implications to it.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get there.
That have nothing to do with Naturia.
Nothing at all.
So, we continue. Oops, I'm in the wrong. Was on the wrong.
Also, we're
monitor.
not going to be going over all the Naturia spell traps because there's like 15 of them.
No, but the last one is what? Roots.
Kind of a thing.
Some of them just being bits
No,
and
it's the
pieces we
world
grabbed off the fusion monsters or synchros.
Well, what is it called? Was it Roots?
Sacred Tree. Sacred Tree is the one we should discuss.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that
but
was a
here's
factory point, yeah.
Spider Fang.
love
I
this
I
card.
like
have
it.
tiny pine cones for feet.
They're still going with like the fruit aesthetic. Like it's like a lemon for an abdomen. It's got pine cones for feet. It's got leaves as its like fangs.
Yeah.
It's cute.
No,
It's cool.
It's all tangled up. It's adorable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But
good.
then again,
It's a good
I'm the
card.
weirdo that thinks spiders are adorable.
I mean,
Like,
I mean,
Fine.
some spiders are okay, some are not.
like real spiders look disturbing. This looks cute because it's
okay.
different enough from a regular spider.
To defend myself, I think specifically large tarantulas are adorable because they're not like. Look, I'm cool with spiders as long as I know where that spider is at all times. It's the spider I cannot see that I am afraid of.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I will make sure.
Also, that
Secret
one
Tree-
spider animation is adorable.
So Spider Fang. Anybody else got anything to say about Spider Fang before I talk about its effects?
It's yellow.
I think it's my favorite art of the so far, probably.
It's pretty cute. I like how they added
Yo,
the
this-
Someone
eyes.
with minor rectophobia, it's like
This-
it's
this-
cute
this
yet I'm
freaking-
bothered by it.
Why is the spider? Okay, the spider is larger than the guardian tree.
Yeah, okay, so Naturia Spider Fang is a 4-star earth insect. It's got 2100 attack and 400 defense. This card cannot declare an attack unless your opponent activated a spell trap effect, or a monster effect this turn. So this is basically like Imperm, but shitty. Or triple tap,
well-
but shitty.
It's actually decent as a wall.
Yeah.
Like, it's similar to Juraigumo, where it's like, it's decent if you just use it as a wall.
I absolutely think Spider-Fang and Guardian probably should have had their effects switched for their names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as a wall, yes, a 2100 normal summon, that's decent. And this is the Synchro era, so you can always just sync it off later.
Yeah, like now that the Xyz era is out, this card is kind of useless because who only normal summons once a turn if your name isn't exactly Monarchs.
And even then, Monarchs, that's only for like another couple of weeks before that structure deck comes out.
Yeah. But I love this art.
Yeah, no, it's cute.
Shame it's a terrible card.
All right, so this rounds out. Ah, yes,
Wasted potential.
this motherfucker.
Not this art.
This is gonna round out our main deck in the first run of Naturia's. We will go to the two Synchro monsters in a second, but so this is the card that before we got started, I looked at the art because I was like, this card's not real, and I looked at it and I was like, ugh. I was physically impained by this Naturia Vein,
really
everybody.
Bad. Naturia Vein is really
yeah.
Look at this smug
That's such a
little
weird
shit.
different style.
It looks like a sex pest.
If you want a somewhat cute, smug-looking plant thing, look at Snivy from Pokemon.
Thank you.
I was.
This is.
I told you I was physically pained by opening up a new tab and seeing this card. I'm like, ugh.
The biggest problem is that he is not like he's a Naturia monster in name only by his design. Like he is definitely a different like design aesthetic that was like maybe a prototype design they had from something else that they said he's a plant. Let's put him in Naturia.
Yeah, his eyes don't really match their setup because they're smug, or her eyes. I don't even fucking know. What is this thing?
It has very sharp like shaded teeth.
Yeah, it's teeth like, and yes, we saw with Rose Whip they can have teeth, but they're like pointy. It's got a beak. It's like purple and green.
God, this thing look like you know what it reminds me of? Keeping on with the Zelda thing, it makes me hate it in the same way Tingle's design makes me hate them. It's the same energy. I.e., they're on a list somewhere.
Yeah. Sure. Vayne is the big oof. So this is a thing. This is a whole thing. This art. I think I don't want to talk about it anymore. I think I want to read its effect so I can get rid of it.
Yeah,
and we can
like
move on.
it's leaves. That's all we can. That's all we have to say about it. Let's read its effect.
Okay, this is a level 1 plant tuner. It is Earth, of course. 200 attack, 300 defense. You can tribute this card and one Naturia monster to negate the activation of your opponent's spell or trap card and destroy it. This card is bad. Instead of tributing 2 cards for this, you know what you should do? You should use it to synchro a card that's a Naturia synchro.
What the fuck was that noise?
Now, to be fair, if it was just itself, I think it would be actually decent because you could keep special summoning it off of Anshaw.
Yeah, and then sack it.
I need to turn down Dallas, apparently.
That was weird. I didn't hear anything from Dallas.
I didn't hear anything either.
Okay, I guess
some-
just be me.
some static
Must
burst?
just be. Yeah, I got like a fucking feedback of someone like going, ugh.
Get some fucking.
I
upside
didn't
down
make
shit.
a noise, so that wasn't. I don't know. Loth, are you visited by upside down ghosts?
It's the Mind Flayer.
What,
Yeah,
what
I mean,
line
like,
is that to take?
If this was
It's
if
like
this was
it
just
is.
itself, which is probably why they didn't make it itself because of Anshaw. But if it was just itself, I think it would be a borderline good, if not slightly busted card because you could keep recycling it for negates.
Well, it's the thing is like there are way better negate cards in Naturia, even at this point. We'll get to them, and also
This is the first wave, so I could see the idea of just cycling veins to negate.
no, I understand, but
Well, I would like to remind you, the boy we're about to see, I'll bring him up on page. This is a boy that you could make in the first wave of Naturia. Beast!
yeah,
A literal
also,
better
one-
spell trap negate.
One point I want to put out is he's also, people will say he's also a level 1 tuner. Yes, he's a level 1 plant tuner, being released after both Glow Up Bulb and Spore.
Yeah, no, you can do that
No.
better. But
Beast is
also,
good.
like I said, if you want to make use 2 cards to make a negate, you should make Naturia Beast. Here's Naturia Beast.
Yeah.
Now, this is our first Synchro monster, so we're going to the extra deck. So you can see, well, it keeps the theme of a lot of the Naturia so far. Like this is a tiger made of tree and leaf. It looks fancier, right? Like it's more grown up, I guess you'd say.
Legal.
Yeah. It's more real.
Yeah.
Which is good. Naturia Beast good.
I wonder how soft it would be to just like pet it.
I mean, it looks like
That's
like
the
it
kind
looks
of
like it
feeling it
has
gives.
both like leaves and also just regular fur. So, and now your allergies would be fucked because this is a cat and a tree.
Now, I don't think Beast was ever banned or ever on the limited list in any sense, but he's still a card that probably deserved it at some
It
point.
also this card actually still sees some meta relevance in Synchro decks.
Yeah, anytime
Oh,
you
yeah,
can.
if you
Well,
can play
because
it, you
it's
play it.
he does require to use monotypes, which means he has a strong effect. You know, this is how they balanced out Goyo Guardian in the end. But it's got an effect on it that is pretty spicy. And for Prague, it was actually banned when somebody double beasted me right away, and I was like, "Wait."
No, I didn't double beast you. I beast Royal Decreed you turn 1.
Right, that's right. And I was like, "Well, one of these things needs to go." And since
Now,
you were
And you chose Beast.
yes,
I do wanna
because he was
point out-
playing 6 Sam.
It did get an interesting errata, but I'm not sure if this was more just redefining how the card should work and more, or just like adding extra effects because it added it must be face up on the field to activate and resolve. So you can't just get the free negate even if the opponent has the out to it.
Yeah, it's technically a rebalance, but I think it's a clarification because the original text said, while this card is face up on the field, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to your graveyard to negate the activation of a spell card. So it's basically PCST.
Which
they had to clarify it was a quick effect because
than full errata.
And the reason why it has PCST is because this was originally printed in Dual Terminal 2 and Hidden Arsenal 2, but was reprinted in Gold Series and later reprintings because it's a good fucking card. Let's talk about what Beast does. Beast is a level 5 Synchro. It's a beast. It's Earth. 2200 attack, 1700 defense. Decent stats for a 5 at the time. Earth Tuner, non-Earth Tuner, and as we said, when a spell card is activated, quick effect, this is its current reading, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard and negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. And then this card must be face up. So yeah, speaking of those negates, right, this is a solid negate because it is just whenever. It's not once per turn at all, but it does require you to be willing to spend 2 cards off your deck to do it. So you can't do it forever. As we've established in recent episodes of Prague, sometimes you mill cards you need.
Now, I don't know if this is part of later Nitrias. I don't know all of them. I don't actually think milling is an effective strategy to make Naturias better, but a lot of Naturia Synchro monsters have either milling or discarding effects for negation, just to see, like, stop.
Yeah, they mill for
Well,
cost.
The idea is a lot of Naturias do have effects that trigger engrave.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Not from being sent engrave, but like while this card is in the graveyard kind of effect.
Yeah.
That's still fair and makes sense, and it also means that if you're playing Earth Sylvans, you can mishmash because Sylvans do have the same effect essentially.
And sadly, this does not work well in Sylvan like pure because it too big. Sylvan too big.
So
generally you don't get a sync 5 out of it.
Yeah. So speaking of big synchros, I wanna leave Beast on the field though to compare the two because let's look at the other synchro that came out at the same time. Naturia Leodrake, aka we have Naturia Beast at home.
No, Dumpy, no.
So these 2 monsters were printed at the same time.
I realized it. Have you ever seen that meme image of like that one dog that looks like it's really fucking stupid, and you got the other ones like be strong for mother. That's what this
Be
is.
strong, Clarence. Be strong for mother.
Yes.
What are you going on about?
Now
It's a meme.
this boy is just a vanilla. He has no effect.
Yes, he has
just
no
a big
effect. This is
bungle.
just a big bungus. Now, he's a good big bungus because this is a Sync 9 that just requires 2 monsters so long as they're Earth, which was very rare at this point. 2 mat 9s was a uncommon prospect. I think this was the first, possibly. Normally for like Mistworm and then later Trishula, you needed 1 tuner and then 2 plus non-tuners.
I think he actually was the first
Yeah.
level 9 synchro.
which is good. He's a 3K beater to spoil his stats. Also, is there anything to talk about in this art?
I can tell you a fun
he's a
fact.
flower lion, which I think could have worked if they gave it a different angle. Like if they gave it a different angle proportion, I think it would have looked way
Different
better.
face.
Its proportions are weird, and it should not have that face with that body. It's weird.
A fun fact about Naturia
Stares
Leo
into
Drake,
my soul.
because people have a sense of humor. Leo Drake was in a YCS winning deck in 2015.
Because people are funny.
Was that also a made-up Australian tournament?
No, it was a Necros deck, so they just used it as fodder.
Yeah, you don't need.
Well,
to
yeah,
But he was doing it to be funny on purpose because like there are other good level 9s, but he's like, nah, I want to use this piece of shit.
I imagine this entire extra deck was just the funniest synchros you could think of.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably also had that one level like 11 synchro that no one ever used.
Mix of armor.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Shit like
so Leo Drake has no effect. It's a level 9. It's got 3K attack, 1800 defense, and it punches you.
This Clifford the Big Red Rose looks like he could fuck my shit up. So I do get the sense of him being a 3K beater. It's more just he doesn't look that menacing.
No, he looks horrifying. He stares into my soul.
And spoiler, he gets an upgrade.
Yeah, they make better versions of that. Oh my god, this was so adorable.
Oh,
so we're moving on to our next wave.
Which one?
It's time for bamboo shoots.
Oh, bumper shit. I'm gonna need to talk about this one.
Bamboo shoots.
It's
Look at
very
these
cute.
guys. They're so happy to be alive.
Yeah.
Oh, these
the
are
card
adorable.
might look cute. This card, you remember how I was talking about competitive Naturia decks? This is the card that deck was based on.
Oh yeah, God, I've just read this effect. But let's talk about the art first because I think
Yeah,
there's
no,
a dichotomy
it is
here.
Overly adorable.
The cute things want your blood.
No, we'll talk about it. But here's Naturia bamboo shoots. It's multiple or bamboo shoot. It is shoot. So technically, this picture is wrong. There are 2 bamboo shoots here.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're bamboo shoots. They're adorable.
Yeah, I mean, some of these monsters we don't have much to talk about because they're just kind of cute. This one we have nothing bad to say about. I don't think it's just.
I have plenty of bad things to say about this card. Not the art though.
The design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The art is fine. Let's play that game we like to play with the people at home. So I would like you guys at home, both my fellow commentators who don't know and the people in the audience, guesstimate based on the appearance of this card what its stat line and level is.
What? It's at a level 4 of 1500 attack and 1600 defense.
Okay, we've got one guess in. Chat.
Okay.
You got any thoughts?
Level 2 with 100 attack and 2000 defense.
Okay. Chat, do you have your own ideas? There's quite a few of in here. I'm quite glad there's so many people showed up for Fail Portrayal.
I mean, I like Dallas. I know this card, so I won't guess. But
I'm waiting to see. We're on ultra low, so I guess people are just racking their brains. I'll give them another couple seconds before I just say it. Because I will say some of our panelists have been closer than others, but
yeah, someone got a stat correct.
yeah, Zed had the perfect answer. It looks like a level 1 with like 100, so it's probably a level 7 with 2300. No, I won't drag it out anymore. So Naturia Bamboo Shoot is a level 5 Earth plant with 2K. So Loth was partially correct. It does have 2K defense.
That has a tribute effect.
Yes. If this card is tribute summoned by tributing a Naturia monster, while it remains face up on the field, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards. This is a one-sided IO and Royal Decree.
Yes.
He's
so
super.
the deck in question was called a Naturia deck in name only because it was running 3 Naturia Bamboo Shoots and 3 Cliff. It would also run main decking, I should say, Thunder King Ryo, Doom Caliber Knight, Fossil Dino Pachycephalo,
We know.
Majesty's Fiend, and Cactus Bouncer.
So it's just the gate's done.
It is if you get the right board setup, your opponent literally cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, we're getting responses in chat. Yeah, that's just ugh.
It is part of one of the most, like, thank God it didn't take number 1, but it took top 8 at a tournament through that.
So I want to ask somebody at Konami. I want to ask Johnny Konami himself, what was going through their brains when they decided this adorable creature should be a walking war crime? Like, I admit it does require you a setup. You have to tribute a specific monster type. That's not that hard, though. This deck is all about special summoning itself. And then it gets 2 very strong continuous trap card effects.
I will forever thank Konami that they printed Tribute Naturia Monster instead of Tribute Plant, or this card would still be round today.
I think this card might be, like, banned or limited today. If it was the case.
This card would be like this card would be the Shockmaster of the main deck.
Yeah, it would probably be like limit 1. Like, you can play 1, but you can't you can play 1 IO. You can play 1 Naturia.
I mean, the thing though is like in a deck that in the era of monster effects and ensemble effects, there's probably easy ways to pop it.
It would still be at 1 just because it's annoying as hell. There are ways to get around this, yes. And there are enough.
Well, and remember, Mystic Mine exists.
The board and get around it. But spell and traps are still integral to the game.
Oh, finally!
And it's because you cannot activate them. So, like, that would mean that if you tributed this correctly, well, you could obviously still negate with like a solemn strike and stuff being very popular. You could not, for instance, like, your opponent special summons this monster. I will respond with infinite impermanent. Wait, I can't activate trap cards. You could Veiler it, obviously, and then try and activate a spell or trap, but it's very fucky, and that's just... literally, there are 3 types of cards in this game. There are monsters, spells, and traps. This monster locks you out of 2 of them for moderate difficulty. And if it was just plants, that would be no difficulty at all.
Yeah.
Shit like Gub exists, guys.
Yeah, no,
But, like...
Well, Gub is banned because of the Link era, but...
Yeah. But okay, this has been that walking war crime. Oh, God. Well, we got another funny name, at least.
Oh?
Brimbershoots?
We're going to move on.
But yeah.
Alright, we have a moth showing up. Welcome.
Y'all get a kick out of this one. Are you ready for... Sorry, I have slight slowness when I do this, but are you ready for Naturia Beans? It's the beans!
He's eating beans!
Naturia Jerry Beans, man.
Kind of, yes. The beans!
This is the definitely the inferior looking card with beans with eyes. Because I mean, also its name is inferior because
the poor Snoopy.
But yeah, dude, he's just stepping on his face.
Yeah.
Poor.
Look at these. There's 3 different beans here. There are multiple beans in this picture. The grammar is correct, and they're all doing different stuff.
What's up with the line on to the one on the right?
Like the one is sassy, one is tough, and one is sad.
The sassy one that might be supposed to be like a hairband kind of a thing. Like maybe it's a girl bean. I don't know.
Well, like I'm looking at it and like it looks like so many things. I think if I say we'll get demonetized, I won't say them.
Is it? Are you also thinking of a T word to describe that bean? TWI specifically?
Nope.
No?
Oh. Okay, that's just me.
But like I see the Powerpuff Girls when I look at these beans. The sassy leader, the tough one, and the pouty one.
Yeah. So they're beans. I don't think there's anything else to say about that. They're beans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, despite the art being pretty fun, they kind of suck.
Yeah, so it's an interesting effect, but it's not super great. So this is a level 2 plant. 100 attack, 1200 defense. Once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. When this face-up card is selected as an attack target, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. So...
Ooh, a burn card. Those are always
yes.
good.
Well, welcome to 5Ds. We have an obligatory burn card for no reason in the archetype. Now, the once per turn can't be destroyed by battle. That works even if it's like face down. You know, it gets flipped face up, and you go once per turn. I can't be destroyed by battle. So like that works towards the stall strategy of the deck. The burn though for like 500, and this can only not be destroyed by battle once. Like literally just play Marshmallow.
Yeah. Also, it's a plant. There's like 50 billion different better plants.
So this card did not necessarily make a name for itself at the time, but the art is sure memorable.
I mean, I'm pretty sure someone have to have made a bean deck at one point, so it's probably in that.
I'm sure beans. I'm sure the beans deck exists.
There's a lot of beans. All beans in the hand. Oh my god. Ay ay ay. Konami.
What do they do?
What have you done to me? All right, Naturia Mosquito, everybody.
Oh, Mosquito. Okay.
Naturia Mosquito.
Oh, yeah, this fucker.
I've never seen this card up close. I kind of wish I had.
It's not a pleasant looking card.
So this, I mean,
Damn.
okay, this is on theme, right? It's a Naturia card. It's a mosquito, but also it's like 5 vegetables.
It's got an eggplant proboscis. It's got a tomato abdomen.
But it still drinks blood.
Well, you can tell by the eyelashes that it's female, which means yes, it's a blood-sucking mosquito.
It's got a carrot nose.
A carrot drill nose.
Drill nose. And well, I mean, it brings me back to Jirax with too many colors are happening on this image.
Oh, somebody in the chat is asking, what is Fail Portrayal? You are experiencing it. This is Fail Portrayal. For those of you who don't know, because it's been a while since we did this, Fail Portrayal is, you know that Thanos meme of I'll do it myself? Basically, I love Rada, Rank 10's Yu-Gi-Oh's pathetic aesthetic streams. And even though he said to Farfa, like, last year he was planning on, bringing back some streams and some pathetic aesthetic stuff, he still hasn't done that. He still makes like 2 videos a year. They're great videos, but I realized there is a void in the Yu-Gi-Tube content sphere for making fun of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and embarrassing them. And so we needed a term that rhymed, and I believe Dallas came up with Fail Portrayal. And that's what it is. Fail Portrayal is we look at Yu-Gi-Oh cards and we point at them and laugh. Oh, how we'll laugh about it. Or alternatively, we are existentially horrified by what we see.
Spoiler, sometimes Konami has ideas that are bad.
It's also sometimes our excuse just to talk about card lore, or I guess just
the unfortunate thing about Naturia is that lore-wise, they're very basic. Vesper recapped it earlier, but they just kind of are there when the worms show up. They are the obligatory Earth Kingdom.
Great arts to talk about, because we haven't even gotten to the worst art.
They do have a more important part in the lore later.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I should spoil or not.
We'll get there. We got a lot to go through. Are we done talking about Mosquito?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a direct monster that's an insect. I don't hate it, but it's too many colors.
So its effect is funny.
Well, I was going to say about the aesthetics as usual. Dallas always jumping. Marth, did you have something to say about how it looks?
It's just okay. I can't even tell right now.
It's a weird one. Okay, so this is an Earth Insect level 1. Its effect is it's got stats that are awful for it's got level 1 stats, 200, 300. While you control another face-up Naturia monsters, sorry, there's a parenthesis there. Your opponent cannot select this card as an attack target. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving a face-up Naturia monster you control, except this card. So basically, this kind of flips the script a little bit. As opposed to being a stun card, this is kind of a, all right, well, if you're going to try and Big Bungus me, you're going to get slap-backed,
Well, so this is, in my opinion, specifically a better version of Amazon as Swordswoman. Because they have the similar effect of, like, you take any battle damage from the attack. But what you can do is, because Naturia is full of recruiters, you can just keep ramming speed. And you can OTK with this card and another Naturia card.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's very meme deck.
I would love to. Somebody please go in Master Duel. I'm sure Naturia has its own. Well, it wouldn't be its own standalone. It's probably bundled with with Sylvan.
I'm looking up a Naturia
If
card.
it's not bundled with Sylvan, Konami, you're done.
I'm pretty sure it is because I've seen the Sylvan pack. I think Naturia's in it.
Don't worry, Mask Mech is bundled in with fucking Sky Strikers.
Denizens of the Sacred Tree Grove. Let me see what Sylvans are.
I have put the next one on the screen, by the way, but we're not. There's no rush.
Sylvans are their own thing, and it looks like
Oh.
Sylvans are their own thing, and looks like Naturias are as well because there are just too many Naturia cards.
That makes sense. There's a
That
fuck
does
ton of
make
Naturia. Speaking of which, by the way, Naturia Pineapple. It's a pineapple. It's not under the sea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it
Thoughts?
looks cute. That's about it.
it's a pineapple.
I like that one of its leaves is kind of like scratching its head like, me?
I'm forever salty at this card because it stopped me from playing Naturia because of how high rarity it is.
We were so close to greatness.
We're this close to greatness.
So let's just
Omega.
talk about its effect. What's up?
You can still talk about it, but I want to do something before we go off this card.
Okay. Sure. I have thoughts. I may try something if that's not what your idea is, but let's talk about its effect really quick. So this is a plant level 2, 100/100, because sense is made. All face-up monsters you control are treated as plant type. During your standby phase, if you do not control a face-up Naturia Pineapple and have no monsters in your graveyard except plant or beast type, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. You must not control any spell or trap cards to resolve this effect. So this is crappy Treeborn Frog, but with an interesting DNA surgery type effect.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Dallas is
Sorry.
getting summoned. He's getting arrested. But it's fair. What did you want to do?
No, I'm doing something. Give me like 3 seconds.
Okay. Until
Okay,
unless
then.
it's gonna be the exact same thing that I was gonna do, I'm gonna put Rose Whip Smile on this pineapple.
Damn it!
Oh
doing-
no! That's
I was
terrifying.
doing that. I was
No,
trying to
I'm glad
figure
we
it
had the
out.
exact same thought. I was like, I think I know what it is. I'll just scooch it on there. It's
Like,
very bad in this form.
I got a reverse picture of it. I was trying to figure it out. My brain just it was unused.
I just had the bits. I have the paint open. It's fine. This is bad. This is horrifying. I'm not okay with this. I think I want to leave.
It looks way worse.
I
It
think
looks
I
way
wanna
worse.
leave. I want to go home. I don't want to do this anymore. But that was the last of our of this batch. So let us move on to.
Effect, because I was full on focused on that.
Yeah, we talked about its effect. It gives you a DNA surgery effect, and then it's a kind of bad. Considering how many insects there are in this deck, and also that one rock that one time we saw already, it's kind of a bad Treeborn Frog effect. But that making all your monsters plants effects is probably dumb.
It's I see some applications for for weird Black Rose plays or something, but it's not. It's jank. It's very jank.
So we should look forward to see MBT play it on History of Jank,
Probably.
the greatest YouTube series of all time. Anyway, Naturia
I-
Cherries.
Joeys.
It is in fact multiple cherries.
They have mouths, and it looks worse for it.
So
the
yeah,
tiny
fuck,
feet.
yeah. Thoughts. I don't want to talk over everybody. I have thoughts and feelings.
The
as
left
well.
one's fine. The right one's
The right one has the American how to draw anime aesthetic to it.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So these double cherries are clearly waifuized. Like they've got the little tiny anime girl eyebrows. They've got the super high widow's peak. One of them's got a cute little fang, and it's just why though? On the one hand, there are literal plant waifu archetypes. There's the 4 plant princesses. There's basically a theme, that makes number whatever Titaniel. So you could go more hardcore. This is just weird because it's not quite Naturia's aesthetic, right? This is very much anime uwu cute as opposed to all other Naturias, which were more of a classic Disney cartoon cute.
Yeah. It just looks like the one on the right is just giving the other one sort of the little swinging, sort of saying, pushing them back.
Look at the image I just posted in the progression chat.
Yes. Here, let me grab that.
Oh god, no. Fucking Scholastic.
Hey, don't you shit talk Scholastic. I did pretty good at some Scholastic book fairs in my day.
Right.
Dallas, you stepped away. Okay, you gotta talk to me about this one.
I've acquired dinner.
Excellent. Okay. Does
But
it
has
involve
dinner
any
acquired
cherries
you?
by any chance?
No, it involves Pollo Loco.
So, Naturia cherries. Now, you will probably see this one because this one actually does stuff. So, Naturia cherries. And Dallas is gonna make dinner noises on Mike, I think. Sorry. This is a level 1 plant tuna, 200/200. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard by your opponent's card, including battle card effect, or by being destroyed, you can be destroyed not by card effects, guys. They're being thorough. You can special summon up to 2 Naturia cherries from your deck in face-down defense position. So this is another recruiter.
And it's a good recruiter. You just have to make sure you don't draw both your cherries or already have your cherries in the graveyard.
Yes, there's an issue of garneting. But speaking, by the way, Dallas talked about how you can use what was it? My mind immediately forgot that card. Mosquito, yeah. Like, this is obviously a separate way of support, but this lends itself to that mosquito strategy. If you can get cherries and mosquito on the field, you just cram 3 cherries into your opponent, and they take a lot of fucking damage.
Yeah. Or if your opponent's playing something like Cyber Dragon, they die.
Yeah.
Well,
now, obviously, they're face
will,
down, so you have to shenanigans them, but you can play stuff like Book of Tayo, other things to
I will point out a very important word, 2 words on this card's effect that is up to, which means that you don't have to have both in your grave or in your deck.
Yes, true. You can stop at 1 if you already have 2. So you can Thunder Dragon this shit. But yeah, cherries is okay. And I mean that effect on tuners to just fetch more tuners if it gets run over definitely helps your advantage game. I will say though that it's not the craziest card, but it definitely like fits the effect anyway. The aesthetic, like I said, is a little weird. Not sure why we decided to go quite so anime.
Yeah.
I have so many gut reactions when I open up a new tab to the next card in the list, guys. Oh my god.
Is it the Egg Boy finally?
Guys,
Nitria Humpty Dumpty.
it's the Naturia Pumpkins.
Oh no, it's that
Oh
one. Okay.
no.
I love this card. What are you talking about?
Yeah, look at this boy.
Yo,
That guy is a stoner face.
Yes,
this guy is smoking on stage for his dang push.
Like, dude,
Oh,
this
definitely.
flower.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, this flower is amazing, guys.
Alternatively, something has happened with his brain because his head is literally open.
It's either lobotomized or very, very high.
Or both.
Or both.
Probably both.
Yeah, this is fucking. Look at this fucking.
There is no middle ground. It has to be one or the other.
Pumpkin. We've also got he looks drunk. Now I like what they've done with like the intercut between like the green rind and the orange insides, right? Even for his little feet.
Yeah, despite this being a mildly horrific in like context, it's cute. It has good colors. The colors make sense.
Yeah.
I agree with the board farmer. He looks like a good boy.
He is a good boy.
He's fine. Any other further aesthetic thoughts?
don't
Now all I can think about
so.
is just look at the rabbits, George. Look at the rabbits.
So
And
this is
he has a pretty solid effect.
Yes, this is a level 4 plant. Earth, of course. 1400 attack, 800 defense. So a little low for its level, but, you know, you're playing Synchro, so math is important. And when this card is normal summoned, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon one Natria monster from your hand. In arguably a Synchro deck, that is amazing. That's a free tuner.
I will say that there is one problem I noticed by their effects is that they can't decide if they want to be a go first stun deck or a go second like response like
Yeah.
stun deck because like they have some of both. So like you get different styles of play, I guess, for both sides.
But luckily, with
there should be
Naturia,
one.
there's so many goddamn cards that you get to pick what variant you want to
To
run.
spoil it, the good one is the go first stun deck.
Yeah,
That's
and I
usually how that
assume
works.
so.
Hard go first.
Or you play Grinder Golem and then you play Pumpkin.
Yeah, go first, bamboo shoots, and hope your opponent doesn't have a fucking kaiju.
Yeah.
I think I need to get some kaijus in a Master Duel, just in case.
Oh, because of the meta in Plat, I'm main decking kaijus.
But okay, let us move to Naturia Stag Beetle. Eat bug.
Yeah, it's
We returned to bug that has plant leaf and it's just cute.
And it's
and
got a
just
pinecone body.
big ol' eyes.
Yeah.
Its body is
big
a
ol-
pinecone under its leaf wings.
It's giving me them puppy dog eyes.
Change beetle. It's like attack.
So I don't think we have anything more to say about its art, other than perhaps the context of its stat lines. I'm not gonna play the game. We're gonna be here for a while. So this is a level 6 insect with 2200 attack.
Yes.
Big. It's big.
How much it? No, Doomdozer is 28 and Chainsaw is 24, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not cool. It's not quite as impressive as some other weird bugs, but Big Bug has definitely got some energy. So this card reads: once per turn during the battle step or damage step of this card's attack. Wow, that's a phrase I haven't heard
That is important.
ever.
That is very important wording.
When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can select one Naturia monster in your graveyard, special summon that monster from the graveyard. So while you're attacking, it doesn't stop your opponent from doing anything. But if they activate Kalut, you get to be like, I'm still special summoning, bro.
I think, if I remember correctly, this is one of the only cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! That interacts with both the damage and battle step.
Yeah, because usually you
Because
see
if
during the damage step or in battle, not during damage step. This specifically says both of those things.
Yeah, for the people who don't know, the damage step is separated into different sub-steps of the damage step.
The damage step is probably one of the most complex and most infuriating parts of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, there's so many things that don't work in the damage step for no goddamn reason other than Konami said so. And it's very. I personally think it's very weird that shit like Snake Whistle doesn't work in the damage step and doesn't say it, because most cards that don't damage step say it. Like they say, except during the damage step. But yeah, so Stag Beetle is okay. I will say, I think, obviously, that while there are some higher-level Synchro monsters, so getting some higher-level boys on the board isn't bad. And this lets you extend your plays, right? You know, because it lets you summon when battle. But it's a little counter to most of the themes. You know, you can just play, what's-his-face, Spider Fang. That's only 100 less attack, and that's a normal summon if you want a wall.
Hey, in Junior Journey, this thing would be good.
Oh my god, please don't.
Junior
don't let
Journey?
anybody know.
What?
So if you guys don't know, one, you should watch Junior Journey, the
Junior
other
Journey's
best
amazing.
series involving MBT on
Save
YouTube.
the future of 2042.
Because apparently it's 2021 or 2121. Sorry, math. So if you guys didn't know, in the early days before Yu-Gi-Oh had proper like formats and master rules and stuff, there was a separate format to introduce to the game to the kiddos, Junior format. Junior format basically resembles like old school Duelist Kingdom rules. There is no tribute summoning. You literally cannot tribute summon unless that's an effect you can do. And you can only set one spell or trap per turn, and you can only activate one spell and then activate one trap per turn. So it's a very weird, simplified, limited format that is absolutely bonkers. And MBT and
RJ or something?
yeah, RJ, that's right. I know his name starts with an R, but I always forget him when I go to talk about Junior Journey, even though he's in two really good series. Also, who's making that sound?
We can hear you opening things.
Stop it.
Dallas is like sounds like he's crushing a bottle.
He's still doing it.
Dallas,
I'm
just
done.
mute yourself. Mute yourself.
You could also have just
There's a
been
button
quiet
there
through that.
on Discord.
And this is where Dallas mutes Axe because he's a bitch.
I was about to say,
I'm gonna mute that.
I called him out. It's okay.
I'm fighting a Supreme King deck. What the fuck?
Rip. But Junior Journey, so they do it in bi-weekly formats. So 1 week they go to a year, they try to figure out the best decks, they ban a whole bunch of cards, and then they get 2 randos to play the rest of the year, and then they usually break the format even more. It's ludicrous.
Like
You should check
MBT
it
and
out.
RJ do their best to break the format, and because they are very much not Satan-minded, they inevitably fail.
Yeah.
So they find actual degenerates to actually break the format.
Yeah, I know you don't have like a YouTube channel, Dallas. You should try and DM MBT to see if you could get on anyway, because they're gonna be doing this for like 20 years. You
Oh yeah,
would
no,
absolutely
I-
destroy that format. You
I mean, they
evil
always
little
is that,
gremlin man.
every time they bring a guest on, that's what they do anyway.
Well, yeah, that's what Dallas
Yeah.
just said. The guests somehow find a way to make it even worse.
I'm gonna try.
I mean, he says his DMs are open. Anyway, we've talked enough about Beetle. Let's move on. We are going to be here for a while. It's time for a new wave of support, which begins with another Sinky Boy. This is another very important card to Naturia that
Yes.
explains what they do.
This is the other Naturia card that was everywhere, other than Beast.
Yes. I have to scroll to find its gallery art.
The crazy Hydra-looking one.
I would say it's more of a Chinese dragon. Because there he is, Barkion.
It's the trap version of Beast.
Oh right.
Yes. Yeah,
Forgot
literally.
about that.
So it's
Yeah,
slightly worse
yes,
than Beast.
yes,
and it's
Eastern
not
Well,
very
it's
Eastern
true.
good.
You
Eastern
banish 2 cards from
Dragons.
your graveyard. But if you have both, you can do some stuff. But yeah, so art-wise, Barkion follows in Beast's, and I guess Leo Drake's, footsteps, where it is a thing, but planty, but in a more realistic way. This is a plant dragon.
Well, and like as you said, it is very much more a Chinese dragon, and like this, despite it being planty, it still has that regal elegance to it that you think of when you think of like that Chinese dragon aesthetic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and
Also-
the whole lore behind the Naturia Beast, because there actually is somewhat of lore, is that Leo Drake, Barkion, and Beast are the rulers, and one more are the rulers of the 4. They're the Chinese like 4 points. It's Tiger,
4
Turtle.
heavenly kings.
Yeah, it's Tiger, Turtle, Dragon,
Bird.
Bird. Except no one's actually a bird. They just made.
Yeah.
That's where Beast is basically.
Yeah, they probably decided it wouldn't make sense because there's that whole Mist Valley thing we've already looked at.
Well,
It's like leader
I
of the
do
North
really
Forest, leader of
appreciate
this-
that Barkion looks like he's got bark for scales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
You see this motherfucker and the dragon music from Breath of the Wild just plays in your head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
right. He has 2.
Like, I
4
think the-
different arms.
I think the only thing I have to say that is weird is that it's this stone and wood thing, and then it has just like human eyes.
Yeah, I mean he's got slit pupils, but yeah, they're pretty normal. Okay, so
Aside from that, I don't have anything bad to say about
also, I
it.
want
It's
to
just
point
like
this out.
this is
I
honestly-
want to say this is an interesting translation. So in Japanese, his name is Park Eon with a P, like park. I think I like Barkion better, but that's an interesting kind of flip flop.
It does lead to an unfortunate translation for one of the spell cards, which instead of probably in Japan where it is Parkion's bark, it is Barkion's bark,
Yes.
which is a little silly.
It's a little redundant. So this is a level 6 Dragon Synchro. Requires Earth Tuner and non-tuner Earth Monster.
only slightly larger than Beast,
Yes, it
but
is 2,500, which is good for a 6. I mean, that competes
Yeah.
with... you can crash with Stardust, and that competes with Iron Chain. You can eat Brionex shorts. Suck on that, Ice Barrier Dragons. And then during either player's turn, when a trap card is activated, banish 2 cards from your graveyard, negate that activation, and destroy it. This card must be face up, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, as Dallas said, it's a little worse than Beast, because it requires you to already have cards in the graveyard to negate. and you banish
Well,
them.
it's also worse than Beast in that trap cards aren't that good in Yu-Gi-Oh anymore.
Well, right now they're not.
There are some trap cards that are played, but they're played because the trap cards that aren't trap cards.
But
Yeah.
the other thing is that like banish 2 cards. You normally in terms of a synchro summon, you should already have at least 2 cards in your graveyard.
Yeah, you'll get
so-
1 negate out of this for sure. The problem is if you want to
Yes.
keep using it. But yeah, Barkion. He's a boy. Oh, I just realized. I'm glad I'm paying attention. This is technically, I wrote my list out of order. I will correct myself. D is after C,
Yes, correct.
which means it is time for
D's nuts.
no.
No.
It's a C.
Sorry.
We just had this conversation, Dallas.
I've been
Cliff!
watching MBT videos. Blame him.
Natria Cliff Bar comes before D. Before
Yeah!
Natria.
Oh, Dwayne.
Angrier rock.
Dwayne.
Yo, it's the bigger rock, but I kind of like this way more than rock.
Can
I mean,
you
this
pull
is
up in the-
absolutely be careful of who you make fun in high school.
Yeah,
Like, this is like I think this is like 1 or 2 real life years later.
Omega, because we're not going to go over this card, can you pull up another Naturia card just for some scale?
Sure.
It's their field spell.
I think I
it's
showed
called
that as
Nat-
the
I think
intro
it's just-
image actually. Natria
Yeah,
Forest.
Yeah, just
The-
Naturia Forest, yeah.
we didn't talk about it, but Forest was the image we sat on before we started.
Yeah, so the
Okay,
people at home
yeah.
have seen it. Yeah, so you know that Cliff
Okay,
is
so,
actually big. He's huge.
Cliff is like the size of a mountain.
Oh yeah,
He's a
that,
cliff.
The actual
Ah,
cliff face, yeah.
right. This one reminds me of those comedy things you have to get past by pressing the different weak points.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too, Marth. This reminds me of the demon gates in Okami.
Oh, they
Oh,
remind me
yeah,
of Demon
those
Gates
guys.
and Neo. But I
Yeah,
haven't played
or,
Okami
like,
in
the
way too
Migwalls.
long, so...
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but also like I said, this is also basically just that be careful who you make fun of in high school meme. Like this is Naturia Rock, but he's swole now. He started eating protein. He started hitting the gym. He's big now.
He also has eyebrows.
Yes, he has rock eyebrows. He still has no mouth. Also, he looks like he's gonna throw that twig he's holding like a fucking thunderbolt from Zeus.
Yeah,
Which is why I call him Dwayne, because if you know
Actually-
the Rock, you know the most important feature of the Rock is his eyebrows.
The favorite part about this image to me is like it's the same color or like shape as the stuff on his head, but his arms are clearly too small to reach up there. So where did he get it from?
he also has no knees, so he can't bend over and grab it after he throws it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, that's also yes, it's the size of a tree. This is also like that recurring giant thing in like Dark Souls. Anyway, I said a
Oh,
funny
Attack
thing
on
in chat.
Titan music.
Oh yeah, it's Enemy and Akani's Blockhead. Yeah.
Blockhead. Okay, so this is a level 4 Earth Rock with 1500 attack and 1000 defense. So he's not as tough as you might think in defensive. But when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Naturia monster from your deck to your side of the field and face up attack position. So, similar to like Sangan or Wish, if this guy hits the field and he goes to the graveyard for any reason, any form of removal that puts him in the graveyard, you get a free summon.
You know, this card is actually really good.
So,
Yeah.
for instance, I want to say probably the best way to do that is consider Synchro climbing. You put him on the field, you play a tuner, you sync, he goes to the graveyard, you get another tuner out of your deck, you Synchro climb. Like you can do some very impressive things with this. There's a reason why he is a secret rare. This is a good rock. Thumbs up.
Well, he's also a secret rare because it was a hidden arsenal.
Well, yeah, but like he could have been a super rare.
Oh yeah. No.
He's not. Okay.
Unfortunately, he's in an archetype that isn't very explosive, and he's an explosive card.
All right, so
And I'm also noticing an interesting lack of a once per turn clause.
Yeah, no, you could do some pretty shit. Like, he is the reason why my Naturia Beast is somewhat playable in a modern context.
Also does not say you can't summon himself.
Nope. You can cliff for cliff.
No, you go cliff into cliff into cliff.
Yeah.
Deck
So
fin.
if you synchro climb with this boy, you just have infinite materials.
You know, link climbing with cliff is a great idea.
Or link climbing. Link climbing is also just how you
Yeah.
would do it. Yeah. Nowadays.
Well, that's I'm gonna be real. That sounds like that's probably why Naturia hasn't gotten modern support. Like, hasn't gotten like any weird link monsters or anything, even though they're arguably a synchro deck. Because Konami realized, wait, we have way too many of these guys that special summon themselves for free. That's gonna be dumb. Let's not do that. Let's just not.
No, make Naturia meta. That'd be the funniest shit.
I mean, that'd be pretty
Right,
funny.
right.
Like, Ice Barrier's
Oh my
got
god,
a
no,
fucking
Naturia versus
structure deck.
Drytron. That'd be hilarious.
Like it like do the opposite of Ice Barriers, where Ice Barriers got a structure deck that was basically a wet fart. Make Naturia broken.
Actually, yeah, because I would love to see them just destroy like Sky Strikers.
I mean, if you could find a good way to get Bamboo Shoot out, you would destroy Sky
I mean,
Strike.
Drytron is already dead. It's called Sword Soul killed it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun season in Master Duel when they decide to bring out Sword Soul. Maybe I'll learn.
I might
those
actually
cards
try
there.
Sword Soul because I'm actually curious.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
I'm going to play Yang Zing with Sword Soul support. You can't convince me otherwise. They're gonna be like,
I mean-
"Oh, you're playing Sword Soul." It's like, nope, just Yang Zing.
I think.
I mean, like
I think
I have
Rob
Guys.
will be-
what I have watched
Guys.
videos talk about.
Sorry.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
Fucking try.
we've
Say
moved on
something.
to the new card. I don't want to boil us into like a 5-minute discussion about the meta. We seemed
Yeah, I
like
was
we were
gonna
building
say,
up
are we-
ahead of steam,
are
but
we
we are
talking
currently
about-
discussing Naturia Dragonfly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would once again
Naturia
like to point out how
Dragonfly is also
inconsistent the
sold.
fucking grammar is in this. This is Naturia Dragonfly singular, despite the fact that there are 5 of them in this picture.
Yeah.
With different colored wings.
Yeah.
The Japanese ain't better.
Japanese does not, I think, have natural plural, but it is definitely Doragon Furai, so one dragonfly.
There is a plural like addition to a word, but
Yes.
it would not make sense in the name of it in the name of a card.
But they could, because it is English, they could have said, like, Doragon Furai Zu, like dragonflies. They do not do that. They also say it's a singular dragonfly, which is a little weird. But yeah, dragonfly. It's a dragon. It's a Naturia. It's another Naturia bug. It has big eyes. Their heads are cherries. They've got like different wings. They've got twigs for butts. Only some of them have dandelions for butts. So
It also has some kind of seed as an abdomen, but I forget. I can't tell what it is.
yeah, that could be like a cherry tomato or maybe
Tomato,
like
a cherry
mistletoe.
tomato.
It could be a lot of.
They also have different tails too. I'm noticing.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Some
Yeah,
of them have.
Omega
just said
dragon
that.
too.
It might just be an undetailed strawberry.
That's probably what it is.
Okay. Tried to look in the trivia for it. All it just says, hey, this card has a mistranslation in one of the games.
So, Nitria Dragonfly is a level 4 insect. Hold on, my music stopped. Let's loop that again. Loop that sweet, sweet soundtrack. Level 4 Earth insect, 1200 attack, 400 defense. Again, we live in the Synchro era, though, so your stats don't matter if you're playing a Synchro deck. And also, it has a funny effect. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster that has 2k or more attack. And this card gains 200 attack for each Naturia monster in your graveyard. So, like, honestly...
It could theoretically become enormous.
Yes. As a late game card, keeping in mind that one of your earliest Synchro monsters, Beast, literally ditches 2 of your cards to the graveyard to do its effect.
So that's already 1600.
You could make a big boy. And the fact that it has that kind of obnoxious Celtic Guardian style effect, right? Like, your opponent can't make big monsters to flatten this boy. It makes it a very interesting card for late game play. I think it's a little weird compared to other Naturias, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it doesn't have any synergy in the deck, but it also could just be like if you go cliff into cliff into cliff and dragonfly, and like with beast and like it could become enormous.
Yeah, no, that right. This is the same set as Cliff, and this is a Cliff target. So yeah, that's actually a really good combo. You could Cliff, fly, and if you get Beast to like yeet those guys into your deck in there, and also some of those cherries. Remember has that effect to if it gets blown up, it can cycle cherries in as well. So like,
Naturia very much feels like they tried to make a toolbox archetype and kind of.
well, like we said, there's 2 flavors of Naturia cards, right? There are the Floodgate-style stun cards, which is basically like, hey, you, stop what you're doing. Don't do that. Spells, traps, fuck you, stop that.
Have no fun.
And the other is basically like a swarm deck. Like, hey, you know how you're playing your turn? what if whatever you did, I put like 5 monsters on my board?
Yeah,
Uh,
there's an unfortunate
go
part.
full in like Cristrons, where they're literally just playing on the opponent's turn.
Yeah,
There is an
or
unfortunate
also
part about-
how I play Dragon Maid, where if I make Shio and I get to your standby phase, I'm just like, hey, buddy, I'm going to summon like 5 Dragon Maids right now. Is that cool with you? You got a max C? No? Okay. Bye.
But the unfortunate part about them being a Swarm deck is they're right in the middle of 6 Sam X Saber Blackwing meta, and they're not those decks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Moving swiftly on as Dallas crunches some Naturia beans.
The beans.
I'm eating beans.
He eats the
This
Naturia
motherfucker
D's
eating
nuts.
beans.
Now 3 people have made that joke. It is time for Naturia Horn Needle, a literal Pokemon.
I'm sorry. I
Nice.
heard Horn Needle.
No, there's
Also
an enemy.
Don't
just-
insult this. Don't insult this thing.
Also-
Beedrill.
Also, it's just Beedrill plus.
I mean, I'm quite
Bellsprout
shocked that we haven't
plus
thought of
Venomoth.
like a bug plant that does this. Plant
Look at his arms. He's like, I'm ready to do this.
I'm gonna cut
He
you.
really is. I mean, like you said it already, but he really is just Beedrill.
I mean, he's got
He's
bigger
Beedrill,
teeth
but-
than Beedrill, but yeah.
Well, he also, unlike Beedrill, doesn't suck.
I mean, fair. Beedrill's
Look,
not
Beedrill is one of the worst Pokemon ever.
those
I'll just say
poor
it
those
flat
poor
out.
early Pokemon those early bug Pokemon guys that they make every
Well,
gen
no.
are not very
Okay,
good.
so Butterfree has a niche. It has It has a 97% accuracy sleep pattern. That's a niche. Beedrill has dog shit stats and no niche.
Yeah, you're talking about
Don't be
Pokemon right now.
Beedrill. Beedrill's
Yeah.
bad.
Now I think there's some interesting things about Horn Needle here. You know, like the antenna are flowers, but they're 2 different colors, so that's kind of like an interesting effect. It's like arguably it's less leafy or less planty than some other Natrias we've seen. Like it's just got like kind of like a weird fluffy leaf shawl and then leaf wings, but like its body looks just like a bug butt with a regular needle. I mean, it's a giant fucking needle. Also, if anyone is curious, no, this doesn't activate my deep-seated phobia of stinging insects because it's a fucking Naturia.
Yeah, look at
I'm
him.
not afraid of this.
No one's afraid of Naturia.
Also,
now- yeah, go ahead.
This guy was in the same set as Cliff, right?
Yes.
Because he is just Horn of Heaven.
Yeah. Also, I would also say, as I read its effect, meet guys. By the way, Naturia King Ryo. So this is a level 4 Earth insect with 1800 attack, 100 defense, and its effect is when your opponent special summons a monster, you contribute 1 face-up Naturia monster you control, except this card. So it's a little bit different than Thunder King Ryo, but you know what I mean. To destroy that special summon monster. So yeah, welcome to Floodgates, basically. And remember, Cosmo Beat literally summons itself when your opponent normals or sets a monster. So you, and there are other cards that special them on your opponent's turn. So basically, this is, like Vesper said, Horn of Heaven. You tribute another Naturia monster.
Or you tribute Cliff, summon another Cliff.
Yeah.
So you just have infinite materials to Horn of
Yeah.
Heaven.
And yeah, and your opponent can't special. It's not once per turn because it requires you to tribute a Naturia, a face-up Naturia monster. How the fuck are you going to do that? Well, it's the same set as Cliff, so there's synergy. There's synergy with other cards as well. And yeah, that's just a really annoying lockdown effect. You know, you can't special summon while this guy is on the board because you know your opponent's gonna fucking block you.
Yeah. No. Also, fun fact: it has a higher attack point value than Cliff. I just find that funny.
Yeah, it's the needle, man.
Also, I just realized with like the way his flowers work, if they ever light up, he could be the Naturia policeman.
Naturia policeman.
Whoop whoop! It's under the police.
Okay, this is a weird one.
Oh God, is this what I think it is?
This is another H1.
Oh, never mind. Oh, we're not.
I feel like Dallas
abysmal
does that
art yet.
literally every time where I say this is a
Alright.
weird one, and he's like, Oh, is it this? And
Well,
I'm
no,
like, nah, it's different.
There's a specific art in Naturia that I would put in my top 10 worst Yu-Gi-Oh art of all time.
Oh,
So
hydrangea.
this is Naturia Hydrangea.
Oh, this art. Yeah,
Goes
this art makes
goes
me
right up
uncomfortable.
with Naturia germaniums or Naturia orchids.
I don't like the one-eyed plants.
Yeah,
Also, by
it's
the
like-
way, I
it's-
think those are his weapons or her weapons. I don't know. Look at the lances
They-
coming out of the top of them.
Yeah,
This art makes me uncomfortable, and I don't know why.
The one eyes remind me from something from Yu Yu Hakusho, that one of the 3 demon lords.
Oh,
This
Yeah,
reminds
yeah.
me a little bit of some of the shit we saw in and Vesper, you should be so glad you missed this episode in Vendread, where eyes were in places
Ooh.
eyes should not be.
I was
Yeah,
about
the-
to say,
the-
yeah,
the-
this is Resident Evil looking.
The Resident Evil archetype is odd.
Yeah, but it's more to me. It's more unsettling on the Naturia because it's so like dissonant.
Well, yeah, that's what the trope of daylight horror is, right? Like, this is so sunny and bright, and then you're like, why the fuck does this beautiful flower have like 2 mini flowers attached to it? Like, I think this is one plant that has 4 eyes, and then 2 of its eyes it will stab you with. What the fuck?
Like I'm mildly concerned by the eyes it has under the flowers, but the shape looks like it's part of like the plant, but which I'm fine with that. But then you get to the hands that also have eyes.
And
Well,
then, like I
also-
said, they ended like weird drill tips. What is
Remember,
happening
Omega,
here?
it has 4 eyes that we can see.
True. So this is a weird fucking one. Anybody else have anything they want to say about this?
I didn't notice like the drilled daggers until you guys
I-
mentioned the stabbing part.
I just
Yeah,
Kind of blended in.
not quite like straight cat from JoJo.
this
So-
Oh,
looks
that thing.
odd.
This is a level 5 plant, Earth, 1900 attack, 2k defense. If the effect of a Naturia monster you control was activated this turn, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's okay.
It's okay.
I mean, you're playing a Synchro deck, so access to different levels is better, and it has an inherent special for a level 5. I think its stats are a little weak for a level 5, you know? If it had an inherent special summon, it should at least be able to, contest with Cyber Dragon. Which it
I
doesn't.
think the idea is that it's synchro fodder. It's not meant to have
Yeah.
stats.
No, you use it for the level. It's got some weird stats if you want it to. But it's got some potential. It's not super bad, but it's not super good. It's okay.
This is definitely the most meh Naturia card.
And thank God, because it means we never have to see it again.
Yeah.
I think I tried to make this card like work like 8 times and it was like, fuck it.
We never have to acknowledge that this exists. Oh my God. There's 2 responses when I open a new Naturia card. It's just like, or, oh, yo.
Okay, is it
Oh, I
the
think I
second
know
one?
which
So are you ready to brighten up your day? It's Naturia Sunflower, everybody.
Oh,
Sunny day.
Sunflower's adorable.
Oh.
This one is
That's
too
cute.
precious. Do not hurt.
Yeah, well, Lost, you
sun
fuck
must
koalas,
shine.
so we're even.
What? What's happening?
What?
Saying his
Don't worry about
opinion
it.
sucks.
Don't worry about it. No, don't worry about
But
it.
also, Dallas's framing could have done a lot. Could use a lot better
The,
work.
No,
the
no,
context
I
of
don't
picking a
want the-
fight with
Nah,
Loth,
speaking
Loth
truth.
taking snipes in chat versus Dallas just melting out. Also, you fuck drop bears.
Okay, no, drop bears and koalas are
Yeah, those are
technically
two
two
different
different
animals.
things.
No, they're not.
Although drop bears technically also don't exist.
Don't you lie to me.
Drop
Your
it.
mother was an emu and your father smelt of eucalyptus.
Oh, sweet, my mother won the war? Thank fuck.
I mean, Sunflower is just a good boy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. That's why we're
Yes.
we're joshing around. I don't. It's a cute sunflower.
I mean,
What do you
it
say to
also
that?
means your mom was beat by fences.
What set did this come out in?
This was released in. This was Hidden Arsenal 3, actually.
What year did that come out in?
Oh, what
looks like
year?
2010.
I want to check
2010.
something.
Almost at the end of 2010.
When did Plants vs. Zombies come out?
I was thinking that as well.
Oh,
Well-
the first one of that would have been before that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah, 2010.
Yeah,
Early
2009.
Oh yeah, 2009.
Yeah. So,
this very much is the sunflower from Plants vs Zombies.
So, unfortunately, Naturia Sunflower doesn't have Great Boy effects.
Yeah.
It is a level 2 plant earth. It has 500 attack, 0 defense. You can tribute this card and one Naturia monster to negate the activation of an effect monster your opponent controls and destroy it. So, this is the effect monster version of... What was that one guy? Was it Beans? Was that what Beans... No, Beans was Burn. Was it Pineapple? Pineapple did that thing, right? Yeah, that was Spells, I think.
Yeah.
Somebody did a thing that we thought was dumb. With spells and traps. Anyway, this does effects. Now, technically...
Rose Whip.
Oh, Rose Whip. Yeah, okay. So, technically, they don't get their monster that handles effects for a little bit, so, like, it makes sense. But, yeah, it's not the best. Like, I would say this is basically like Naturia's answer to Herald of Orange Light, but I would argue Herald of Orange Light is better because it hand trap. This is not hand trap. Is it still adorable, though?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just it. It's really adorable. The effect is middling.
Like many Naturia. Okay. I'm just gonna throw.
Oh, I know which one.
I'm gonna throw this one up on the board in silence.
Is it Tulip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I hate this art.
Oh!
so it's every flower is terrible.
This isn't
Except
the
for
worst art in
Sunflower.
my opinion, but it's up there.
Like, it's
Sorry if
not
that was loud. This is painful to look at.
like it's not. I need a moment to like articulate this, but it's a thing of
Why?
it's not bad. It's just kind of is garish the word for it? I need to look up. What
I mean,
garish
I would say
What?
garish works. It's very brightly, luridly colored.
Very
It's
like it's unnerving.
Very
Yeah,
flamboyant.
yeah. Unnerving's a good word for it. It's weird.
Unnerving and flamboyant.
It's
And
the
also-
opposite of Vayne, where it's still a different art style, but this one is too far on the other spectrum that Vayne was on.
Well, I would say with the like anime, well, technically this was like an actual like Japanese art style thing, but I associate it with because we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh cards with like anime girls. It's got like the anime girl dot eyebrows, and it's very red and pink, and it's got like a fluffy little leaf cape. Like this is similar to cherries, I would say.
Is this plant meant to be poisonous?
No,
I
it's a
feel like
tulip.
it's saying ugu at me, and I don't like it.
Yes, it
so,
says, "Oh, you would step on me, ooh," and then you stomp on it. You stomp on it
Yeah,
repeatedly.
no.
Burn
What
it
did we try to
alive.
say, Moth?
Just think about this. It feels like this thing's trying to lure you in, and then it just opens up its top and just like it's terrifying.
Well, so what
Finds out
what
more.
Tulip is actually saying to you is it's like, "Oh no, you wouldn't activate our spell or trap card, would you?" So Tulip is a level 2 plant tuner, 600 attack, 1500 defense. Each time your opponent activates a spell or trap card, all face-up Naturia monsters you control gain 500 attack until the end phase. So this is like Guardian but better. Like it's still not super great, but every time your opponent activates a spell or trap card, your Naturia monsters get embiggened until the end phase. If you're set up, that can actually be like kind of annoying. Every time your opponent tries to like do spells that extend their line, they're gonna make your monsters bigger and bigger.
Unless the spell is like Dark Hole, Raigeki.
Well, yeah, there's that. Like it still dies to removal, but I will say though,
I mean, everything kind
I
of.
think, yeah, other than the negate ones, I don't think Naturias have any protection so far. I will say I think this actually has technically, Vesper, actually, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong here. I think this technically has a anti-synergy with Barkion and Beast because those negate, and thus those cards are not actually activated.
Yeah, the card activates, but in the same vein of how you can negate Jinzo with Solemn,
Yeah.
the card does not hit the field if it's negated.
Yeah, so you cannot get your negates and also get your Naturia Tulip boosts, which is kind of not great because
The other.
it's Tulip. It's, what are you going to do with this?
Yeah. The other problem with Tulip is if you want to play Naturia Stun, a lot of the good cards we're actually not going to cover because they're spell cards.
Yeah, and they probably don't have super interesting art.
Well, they're literally like basically. So for a turn, opponent can't activate monster effects. For a turn, opponent can't activate trap effect. There's one for each.
Yeah.
Just fuck you. You don't get to do anything.
No, this is interesting. Which, by the way, that I think is the difference between stall and stun cards. Is stun is just stop that, quit it, don't do that thing, don't do anything actually. Like that's a stun deck. A proper stun deck is like, hey, that thing you're doing. What if you didn't do that? What if you didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh? And just your opponent literally can't do anything. Anytime they try to do something, you just bop them in the face. But we haven't. Oops, I meant to cut out Tulip. Let's get Tulip out of here. Now we have Butterfly. New wave, new us.
New phone, who dis?
It's like it's staring at the reflection in the drop, like going, "Is this what it looked like?"
Yeah. So this is Hidden Arsenal 4. This is literally the same set Trishula came out.
This actually is a good card.
Yeah. I love the artwork.
Yeah. Again, not much we can say. It's like 4 different roses turned into a butterfly.
It's actually very. I think this is my second favorite of the insects after the Spooter.
Much like Spider Fang, I think this one they had a good design philosophy, right? Like it's still mostly a butterfly. They just made parts of it look a little more planty. So nothing really stands out of place. It's got a good color comp, where it's just like 2 colors that go well together in the body. Technically 3, I guess, because the eyes are a little bit more red than pink, but still, it's pretty close. Anything else to say about the butterfly? Because if not, I will read its effect text.
Very pink. All I've got to say about it.
It is an Earth Insect Tuna, level 3, 500 attack, 1200 defense. Once per turn, when your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard to negate that attack. So, yeah, this plays into our milling negating effect, and also has a decent, stun effect that's not, like, crippling for your opponent because it's only once per turn, but, if you're going first...
Butterfly, you would get more negates because it's not a hard once per turn,
yes.
But that's not the best.
No, but it does, it's a good move to play turn 1, at least during the era, like, what's your opponent going to do? Are they going to summon 5 monsters? Oh, wait, 6 Sams.
No deck can summon that many monsters in one turn.
For most decks, this is a decent, like, starter play. It's got synergy, and obviously it can fuel your later game plays, like this fuels Dragonfly, hopefully. So it's okay. It's not a bad card, but it's also... It's not an oppressive stun card. It's not like every single time your opponent declares an attack, pitch a card to your graveyard. No, they can't. You tell them to die. So this is going to be a fun one. So we have... This is the Butter that is Fly. I don't think we have anything much to say about it next, so...
Do we have another Fly next?
No.
Oh.
We are going back to the extra deck.
Oh!
Is it Landois or the...
No, this is, as far as I know, Naturia's only fusion monster, Naturia Exterio.
They have to. There's another Naturia
Oh, there is
fusion.
one, okay. I
Gaius
don't remember
Trio.
that one. Oh, no, I do. Is Gaius Trio
Yeah, we
Naturia?
just opened it. Literally last set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as good as Carrying On.
No.
No.
Now,
I mean,
Exterio is...
Funny, but yeah.
As it is a fusion, you can probably guess what fusion it is. It's Beast and Barkion. It is just Beast and Barkion on top of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beast is just wearing Barkion's skin.
Yeah.
Beast ate Barkion.
And now Barkion's eyes are still there. They
I was gonna point
literally
that out.
got tied. They literally just got tied up.
It's not a Cubone thing. It's just his head.
Okay.
He just opened his mouth so wide that Beast just fit inside. Though I will notice it looks like Beast's face is a little like softer now, as opposed to kind of his literally just a tiger face he had before. But yeah, so this is one of your big plays. Exterio. It is in fact just Beast and Barkion.
Yeah. No, Exterior is one of the best fusion cards ever printed for one reason.
All right, this is a level 10 Earth Beast Fusion effect monster. Nitria Beast plus Barkion. A fusion summon of this card can only be conducted with the above fusion material monsters. No Hex-sealed Earth Fusion. How dare you? While this card is face up on the field, you can negate the activation of a spell or trap card, and destroy it by removing from play one card from your graveyard and sending the top card of your deck to the graveyard. I assume that means that our boy here hasn't been PCST printed, because he still has the old school stuff.
You know what? I don't think so, because he is an ancient card that they just retrained.
Yeah, he was just printed once in Hidden Arsenal Trishula's Triumph. I hope he gets a reprint in that new set then. The Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1, because that would be good, because he's a good card. He has the effect of both Barkion and Beast for the combined cost. You banish one card from your graveyard and then send one from the top of your deck, so you can't like abuse it to be like, I have no cards in my graveyard, but it'll send the first card, and it's banished then send.
But as long as you can activate the first one, you can continuously activate it.
Yes, you can constantly replace it by milling your deck. It's got 2,800 attack, 2,400 defense, so not that bad. By the way, this card exists in an era of something called Miracle Synchro Fusion. So there is a Miracle Fusion force fusions that require Synchro monsters as their material from the graveyard. So you don't have to play it that way, but if you get Beast and Barkion in the graveyard, you can play a card to shenanigans them out into the Fusion Void.
One of the reasons this card is so strong is it's missing a line of text that a lot of fusion monsters have.
Yeah, it just says that a fusion summon of this card can only be conducted with the other fusion material.
There is no, this card must be fusion summoned.
Yeah, so like I said, you can't Hex-sealed Earth Fusion it, but it is a level 10 Earth, so you could Metamorphose.
Yeah, if that wasn't...
In case you
wait,
didn't
that's
know
not
that...
banned in our format, is it?
I don't think so.
Wind Drainer Rock.
Alright, I might have to change my deck this week.
But in case, if you didn't know, Metamorphosis is dumb and bad. I just don't think we've ever banned it in Prague because literally nobody has ever made it work. By the time anybody could do, like, Scapegoats, Thousand Eyes was one already banned, and two, you can just play
the other thing that was broken about Metamorphosis at the time was that there was no extra deck limits, so people just played everything.
Yeah. But... yeah, so you can cheat this out if you can cheat out monsters from your extra deck. It's just that when you fusion summon it, you have to use the materials. But there's a lot of ways to do that. So Exterio, very good card. Very thumbs up. I like how his lion mane beard is now more dragon scaly. That's cool.
You can just use Metal Reflect Slime with Metamorphosis into this.
Right. That is also a trick you can do with cards. But
I'm so glad we don't have to submit decks before.
No, you submit them after, and then we. Though I think I have a new, not formal rule, but a new informal rule. Please make sure to show me your deck list before we ban cards, so everybody knows how many copies you have of shit, so we can stop having that problem.
So we don't accidentally not realize someone had 3 Felgrades or something?
Yeah, I think I could be real. Felgrand would have gotten bopped if we realized how many Felgrands Axe had. But that deck list didn't come out until after we'd already breezed through the bans.
I don't remember how many I have. I have to go look it up.
It's 2 or 3.
It's just 2.
And I think there were multiple people with 2 Felgrand.
Anything above 1 is like, that's too much.
Aw, it's like a good card though.
I mean, it is,
I
but
thought one was too much.
some people may wish you to not have more than 1 Felgrand.
It
Probably
being
like-
a good card is why people want to ban it, maybe. Maybe that's
I
why.
know.
Ooh, it's a strange thought, I know.
That's fair. I get it.
No,
I was just I was doing what you would do, and I do a bit that doesn't land.
the reason I
Tell
wanted
us how you really
Sarcasm
feel.
in there. There was no sarcasm in the joke at all.
the reason I want to ban it is because bullshit. What's that fucking stupid card? Rank Up Magic Astral Force. That's the one.
I don't get the design of this ladybug.
It's a ladybug. Well, you see, instead of spots, it has flowers.
But
It's
it's
not the
also
worst
like-
ladybug related card.
This
in
weirdly
Yu-Gi-Oh.
looks like something I'd see like on as like a landscape painting. Honestly,
It looks more like a pin someone would be wearing at a tree rally
I
instead
was
of
about to
an
say,
actual
this looks like
ladybug.
I've seen this on Tumblr.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that. I think looking at it, like, there's nothing, like, wrong with it. It's just, I think they took the aesthetic a little too far. Like, it's too cartoony, and you're like, is this a ladybug? It could be a Christmas ornament, you know?
It looks like it's rotting, and it makes me uncomfortable.
Because its legs are twigs, and you can see them, you know. Here, I'll sketch people just to make sure you can see. So it's got its little legsies, but its legsies are also so, like, thin and invisible. If you, like, didn't realize this was a beetle and was just, like I said, like a Christmas ornament, I wouldn't be shocked, right? Like, it's kind of too simplified.
It's a Christmas bauble.
Yeah. So anybody got any other funny things to say?
No.
This is
No,
a
I
level
just
1
realized-
Earth insect.
That joke I made about being at a rally for nature, it would be called Shave the Trees.
But that's the name of the stream, Loth.
I know. And anyway, I go back. Dumb joke has been made.
Yeah, this
That
is a
was a
weird
joke?
one. So this is a level 1 insect, 100/100. When you synchro summon a Naturia synchro monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. During your main phase, you can tribute this card to select one face-up Naturia monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack until the end phase. So this is like, what if we made Level Eater and Kalute, but bad?
Yeah. He exists to die.
Like,
Also, this looks
I
like-
get the line, right? Like, obviously it's like, oh, well, you'll probably be milling a lot in Naturia, so if you make a synchro, you probably already have one of these in your graveyard for some reason. So you can, you know, put him on the board, and then you can sack him to make your synchros bigger because your opponent will try and run them over rather than activate spell or trap effects. Okay, but no, it's not once per turn, but remember, you have to synchro summon a Naturia monster, and you have to have this on the guy. So, like, yes, if you can dump 3 Ladybug, you can give yourself, you know, triple Ladybug for game or whatever. It's not the greatest. Like, other than the randomized milling, I don't think Naturia has a great way to sack cards to the graveyard other than tributing them for cards like Pineapple and, or if Pineapple was even that card. I've literally forgotten. What was the one that tributed for effects? Was that Tulip? No, that was Tulip got stronger. Was it Sunflower? Sunflower did it. There's so many of these cards, and so many of them are kind of bad. They're all blurring together. But, like, yes, you can, there is a self-sacking effect, but it's really weird, and to me it seems slow for Naturia, right? Like, how do you get this guy in graveyard so you can set up your Wombo combo? Are you playing card destruction?
You can play Foolish Burial.
I mean, yeah, but do they literally
They're
have
probably
not
better
better Foolish
targets.
targets? Foolish
Yeah.
Dandelion in this deck.
A foolish gub.
Foolish Gub or Foolish Dandelion is the move in this deck. Like, that's the fucking bullshit.
Yeah, because Gub also lets you put an extra card. Yeah, no, this card's bad.
Yeah, no, Ladybug does not synergize well enough, and it looks weird.
Second worst Ladybug-related card in Yu-Gi-Oh!
What's the first, if I may ask, while I pull up the next
4-star
card?
Ladybug of Doom.
Hey, that card was banned twice.
We banned that
Yeah.
card because of Bungus.
No, we banned that card because of brain rot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, guys, if you don't know, and I'm quite shocked that Progression Season 2 has started, and it was actually
rephrase
really
that.
good.
We banned it the second time because
Age of
I mean,
Gauge.
it was immediately better because only Gage got a staple.
Yeah, Age of Gauge. No Monster Reborn anywhere.
No,
Miracles.
I'm on anti-Gauge.
I know you are. You're permanently
He
anti-Gauge.
said to, well, because he's a fucking
The
Look, he's a-
anti-gate fragrance.
Gage has done
Gauge
everything in his power to make me hate him by his opinions on streams.
Yeah, I
That's
just
the
don't
worst
listen. I just
opinion.
don't listen to Gage outside of MBT divorce calls and Progression, and it's fine.
Same.
Yeah, even then, one of the
Gage.
opinions that made me want to punch him in the dick is from a divorce call.
Which is
Well, he's a card collector in
Right,
the
he's a
worst
very- he's a
sense of
very
Well,
the word.
I also
right.
think part of it is, doesn't he work at a card shop?
he does.
Yeah, but that doesn't keep him from being a horrible person.
He's a
It's
card
the
shop
fourth
guy.
synchro.
Yeah, so this is our next synchro. This is the turtle we were talking about. This is
Landois.
Naturia Landois.
Landois.
Yeah. This is their other good synchro.
Naturia Genbu.
Well, I mean, it's like I wouldn't say other good synchro when 3 of the 4 are good.
Also,
There's just the
I
bad
feel
one.
like he's on the same.
Honestly, like I said,
fucking
Leo Drake's
phone.
not bad. He's a generic 2 mat 9 with like 3k. That's functional.
Yeah, it's 5, 6, 7, 9. So I feel like we should get an 8. I feel like an 8 Naturia Synchro makes the most sense at this point. If
Give
we
me
ever got another.
give us the bird finally. Give us Naturia Skybird or
Canopy?
something.
Give us Naturia Skyfire. Wait.
Maybe like Naturia Hummingbird something.
Well, I'm just trying to think of like an opposite to like he's like Landois, like land tortoise. What if we did like Skybird? But I don't even know. Is the red birds, the vermilion bird, supposed to be any specific bird?
Well, no, it would be Earth because all of them are Earth.
Yeah, but you would call it Skybird. Dallas, work with me. Those
Could
look
you
at
make
those
it-
rocks
wait,
in Landois.
wait,
They're
wait,
fucking flying.
wait,
Okay, rocks can
wait.
fly.
Wait, could you make it an emu?
To bring that joke back, sure. That'd be
No, I mean
horrifying.
also because it's a bird that like.
I mean, that would be a
itself.
flightless bird. Yeah, you could do like that. That could be interesting.
Well, and like I said, like it does bury its head, so like it still works with the Earth aesthetic.
It'll win the war.
to win the war.
But yeah, Landois
more.
is. I mean, this is a pretty recurring
resistant.
theme in fiction. It's a tortoise with
Look,
earth on its back. It goes all the way down, mate.
Back
Uh,
Earth.
So
Now,
just to-
unfortunately, like this one is still good and goes with the other negations, but its cost is slightly more specific.
I will also say, I think, unfortunately, compared to the others, it has a bad stat line for its level. This is a level 7 Earth Rock Synchro. It has 2350 attack, 1600 defense. They couldn't even give it a fat ass.
Yeah, it does not. It will not last long.
This is a level 7 Synchro that gets eaten by Stardust, a monster that is a level 7 Synchro that notoriously has lower, or level 8 actually, isn't it? Is Stardust 7 or 8? I forget right off the top of my head.
Stardust is 8.
Yeah,
Stardust is
so
8.
Stardust is an 8 Synchro that is notoriously low-powered because of its effect being busted. And the 6,
I would say
Barkion
this
beats
is-
this guy.
This is another pretty good effect. Like I said, it just has a more specific cost than the other two.
Yeah, right. This one is the grandpa group.
So it's
Yeah,
it's
Genbu.
it's another Earth Tuner non-tuner Earth monster. While this card is face up on the field, you can send one spell card from your hand to graveyard to negate the activation of an effect monster's effect and destroy that effect monster. So, yeah, that's really good, negate and destroy an effect, but it requires you to have a spell in hand, and spells are good.
You can also tell this card has not been reprinted because it has the old Beast and Barkion.
Yeah. This card
effect
also hasn't
text.
been printed since Hidden Arsenal Fortress's Triumph as a secret rare.
Yeah, because the wall of the cards on the field was Beast and Barkion's original text.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
Just
to
having them.
speak about like their synergy, like Beast and Barkion got reprinted because they're fucking really good. This is
really good,
This is
and also exterior.
good, but yeah, expensive. It's hard. You know, that's a rough cost. Now, Dallas mentioned this earlier. Naturia do have a fair amount of spells and traps and stuff that do things and stuff. So you
Mostly
might have
spells.
some spares, but it's still it can be rough. Like very very rarely are you holding a spell in hand and are like, this does nothing.
Landois is very often good in decks that aren't Naturia.
Yeah, if you were playing some other kind of like Earth Synchro setup, probably do some interesting things. But it's an okay boy.
I know I ran him in my spellcaster deck for a while.
You definitely wouldn't play this in Super Heavy Samurai.
Well, yeah, you'd never have the materials.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't have the spell cards to negate.
That's what I mean. You wouldn't have the cost. Unless you're gonna ditch Sekka's Light for Exterio, or not Exterio, Landois. That's probably a bad move.
Probably.
Unless
But
you
I
really
don't
need to do
think
that.
there's
today.
much-
This is gonna go. This is another one's gonna go fast. Naturia Mantis.
It's a mantis.
Eat Mantis.
Yeah, it's Mantis.
I think
It's a
this is
very
the
good
laziest
mantis, but
design.
All right, we showed this one in the previous episode.
Yeah, I
He
think we
looks
use this as a show off for the archetype.
And like as we see, it has leaves as body parts, which I think is a good aesthetic.
I think there was some other insect that we compared it to.
Yes, I believe you were correct. I don't remember what we did. There was a mantis in some, or something like a mantis in another archetype, and we were like, "This reminds me of another card."
This reminds me of a puzzle, Lucas.
You remind me of the babe.
Do we have Insectors on our list? If we don't have Insectors on our list,
We
should put them on.
should.
Now, once again, we have a tiny boy that is stronger than Guardian.
Yeah, this is a. I think that's why it was. We were looking at some insect that had looked like a giant intimidating mantis, and then it had tiny baby stats. And this thing is a level 4 insect with 1700 attack, 1500 defense. This could defeat that evil fucking tree.
Yes.
It's like blades should be weirdly like the sharpest thieves.
Also,
What
this
is-
card has a god awful stun effect. When your opponent normal summons a monster, you can send one Naturia monster from your hand to the graveyard to destroy that monster.
Oh, that
Ow.
card's effect is still summoned, so it still activates. You respond to the activation of the effect.
Yes.
count as non-targeting at least.
But it eats your normal, and it is non-targeting. It just unless it's a not non-targeting because of errata, but it doesn't say it targets originally.
It's almost as bad
Target,
as
it just
someone
destroys,
warning-
but
Yeah.
the problem is that a lot of normal summons are still stars that do things, so the effect is
Yeah.
still going on.
It's
That's
yeah.
the
So
problem.
for instance, if you normal summon Stratos, it doesn't stop the Stratos search, but it
It's good
does
for the
set your
body.
opponent back their normal summon, which can be costly depending on the deck you're going.
If you're
'Cause
playing
you
a
only
link
get-
deck, sometimes you need the body.
You only
so-
get one normal summon per turn normally.
Yes.
It's like double summon
So,
or Brilliant Fusion,
or you're playing Flunder.
or you're playing Far From Mission Tensu.
Sorry, I had flounder, flubber.
Flundery's nuts.
Wandery.
The problem
Yeah.
the problem with first of all, Fluanderies still has D's in it, and also it's way wordier, so nobody's gonna actually abbreviate that. What do you
People
call
are
it?
just
Just
gonna say
Wonder? They're
Flunderies
just gonna
nuts
say
still.
Flunder. Everybody
Yeah.
just says Flunder.
I'm just gonna say bird. I
It's-
would call,
it's-
what
I mean,
RWW playing?
It is
Bird.
it is not as good as what they did for Dogmatica, which was, I would like to reiterate, in the OCG is Dragma.
They
Dragma
actually made
balls.
it-
Oh my
Which-
god,
it was-
that would have been so bad.
Yeah, that was a correct
was ripe for
TCG
abuse.
localization question. They were like,
It also
Dogmatica.
makes it more fancy sounding actually.
Yeah, I think
That
it's
was
better.
the one time where the localization guy was awake and went, we can't print these.
He's like, no, there's no way. Literal children and also man children play this game. That is not gonna fly.
Like,
We'll,
we
we'll
can't
just
do
be,
that.
we'll just
having
be
a
direct
field
with
day.
we'll just be direct with the actual meaning and to say it's actually just put Dogma in the actual
Yeah.
title.
Also, Dogmatica is like 100 times better of a name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dogmatica.
but we're going off topic. I don't have anything else to say about Mantis.
I'm
Let's
pulling
go
up
to
the next one.
next
I'm pulling up
play.
the next one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to, before I pull up the start, I'm gonna have to give everybody an allergy warning. If you have pollen allergies, please look away from the screen now.
This boy, that guy.
It is Naturia Ragweed.
The ragweed.
So this, I think, has a similar stylization and color palette problem to Ladybug. This one's very pastel.
But I do like it. Like it's not assaulting my eyes aggressively, but it's
No,
good.
it's because it's more of a pastel watercolor effect. It's softer
Yeah.
than something like
Yeah.
a tulip, which was just like, meh, and you're like, oh god, please no.
It's not an assault.
Tulip was in my face with the bright colors. This is pastel. It's lighter. It's
Yeah.
still it's off-putting, but I wouldn't say it's aggressively
No,
disgusting.
it just looks a little off, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else thoughts on Ragweed here?
I mean, I don't know what ragweed is exactly. I'm not gonna lie.
He's got
But
got
I
the
assume
perfect.
it looks like ragweed.
He's got the perfect move.
I mean, yeah,
Had
it
a
looks
look
like
at
it looks like Ragweed. I will
Looks
grab
like
a,
it's about to nom you.
I'll grab a picture.
I'm gonna
Look,
post
I live in a
Ragweed.
desert.
I'm just gonna
We
post
don't get a
Ragweed
lot of
for now.
plants.
That's not an image.
Giant Ragweed. Open.
It's not a cactus. I don't know what it looks like.
That's ragweed.
Oh, okay. I've seen that.
It's goldenrod. That's what it
Yeah.
looks like goldenrod basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. No. I just
for
used a
the-
different name, I guess.
For the people at home, because you may live in, we have a wide audience. You may not live in the U.S. Well, that's a big. Yeah, it's
Yes.
giant ragweed.
Or you live in the Southwest.
Yeah, you might also live in a desert. I mean, I don't think I've seen ragweed. I know what ragweed looks like, but I don't think I've seen it anywhere where I live close because I live in a
You
swamp.
live in a fucking cocaine swamp.
What are you doing in my swamp? Don't forget about the gators, Dallas. There's gators in the swamp.
Dude, those gators have steroid. Florida gators are terrifying because they're gators that live in Florida.
Yeah, so
And
I
they're
think
used to
technically ragweed and goldenrod are different, but they basically look the exact
Yeah, it's
same.
a very
Yeah, they
same
look
flower
identical.
structure.
Yeah.
So yes, you can tell. So yeah, we can say it looks like ragweed. It's yellow. I can't tell if he's like this is another plant that has big high vibes. Like this plant is listening to some vaporwave right now.
He is listening to Macross 9220 or whatever the fuck that album was called.
He. I can't tell if like
82.99.
that's like a little or like he's drooling, but whatever. This is a level 3 earth plant. It has 1200 attack and 2k defense. Okay, this is a weird effect. You would never use. I will say this: you will never use this card in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh because there's way better responses to what this card's first line of text reads, and I think it already existed as well.
I do think it's a decent effect. It's been so powerful.
So this is when your opponent draws a cards, except during the draw phase, you can send this face-up card you control to the graveyard to draw 2 cards.
Honestly, in where we are right now, this ain't half bad.
Yeah, this was also Hidden Arsenal 4, so it's been out for a while. Like that's 2011. That's a decent response. Oh, you're adding a card. You're drawing a card to your hand outside of the draw phase. You're playing a pot or a lure or something.
So something interesting. This could be an interesting way to sort of like if you're putting max C's and you can like Naturia loop. This would be an interesting card to try to do that with.
If our group didn't have a bias against plant decks, I would probably use this card, but
we don't have a bias against plant decks. You just lose with plant decks.
Yeah, because I mean, like I can see this being a weird. I don't want to say counter, but a way to play with your opponent max seeing you. It's weird.
Yeah, and there's certainly like this has certain responses, and like we said, you can definitely do some interesting mill stuff with
I'll also say
cliff
this.
target.
I have learned through playing Master Duel, I don't hate Max C. The card they unbanned from the OCG list that I do hate with a burning passion and will never play in our Prague series is Vanity's Emptiness can go fuck itself.
Dallas, as our major Vanity's Emptiness stan, has finally realized, it's bad.
No. Striker Flip Emptiness can go die.
There's a reason why we haven't red listed Max C. I still think it's depending on the deck you're playing, it's such an unfun to just be like, I guess I have to stop playing.
The problem is not everyone has Max C.
Yeah, unlike in Master Duel where you can literally craft 3 Max C for no money down.
Yes.
I just have the one.
Well, you shouldn't play 3, but that's just my opinion.
Yes, you should, Dallas. You always play 3 of hand traps. It's so you can find them, Dallas. You need to start with
but
Max
then
C
you
in your
draw
hand.
when you want something else.
But the duel's over. You play Max C and the duel is over.
No, because then you realize your opponent's playing a Monarch deck and you go, fuck.
Well, that's why you don't play Max C then. You wait until they declare the first special, then you Max C, and then you are you done? Anyway, we're not here to debate about how you use Max C tactically. Nitria Ragweed, it's like card D, but less punishing for you. But also, remember, this was around the time when Droll exists, and depending on the context, Droll can be a way spicier response to drawing outside of your draw phase.
Yeah. This is also very true.
I don't think Ragweed is bad. I think, like we said, it's just been hella power crept. There are so much spicier things you can do when your opponent draws a
There's
card.
an old ass card I like more than that, which is Appropriate.
I also think that at this time Ragweed was released, drawing cards outside your draw phase just was not a thing that happened too much, even in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. Like there are cards that did it.
Yeah,
it was just
see.
it
Pot
wasn't to
would
the
have been
extent.
banned.
Pot was banned, yeah.
Pot was banned. I don't think people realized people were not yet 3-up dude.
I think Avarice was banned. No, 3-up dude was at the wrist this time.
Okay, people were actually on 3-up dude.
Upside was at 3, but people weren't running it. It was only around 2014, 2015 when.
Yeah, that's what I mean. People didn't realize.
Okay.
Yeah, people didn't realize you could just play a 37 card deck.
Yeah.
And then I think this is before Duality, so your only other pot is Avarice, which was limited at certain times, and also
it was limited at this time.
You can't turn 1 Avarice. You literally can't. That's not how Pot of Avarice works.
Yeah, unless you were playing Snake Rain, which you weren't because there is no good reptile deck.
No.
This is honestly, this is probably decent at the time of Yu-Gi-Oh we are in our progression series.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. It's just that at the time it was released, Draw Unlock was a card, but just like drawing cards outside of your draw phase just did not happen that much unless you were exactly Pout of Avarice.
It's like that's what I was gonna say. It's like I think this is better than Draw Unlock in our progression format era, specifically because it is your opponent draws outside their draw phase once, you get a benefit.
Yeah.
Whereas drawing someone for their turn isn't really a thing yet.
I mean, you guys have seen some
My
stuff.
draw was vaguely balanced when it was released.
And now, as seen by the Trickstar deck I played on stream, you can like do funny things like, haha, discard your entire hand, draw new cards. Oh wait, draw. Now discard your hand. Don't draw any more cards.
Ashing Pot of Extravagance is my favorite thing ever.
Anyway, I have two things I want to say as I reloop my music. One, Marth put this in the Discord chat. He did dig up what we brought up Mantis for was X-Saber Emmer's Blade. Yes, I remember correctly. Emmer's Blade looks like a badass, but is a tiny weenie baby. And gets its ass kicked by Mantis, Naturia Mantis Hardcore. But also, I have pulled up the art for our next one, Stinkbug.
He's stinky.
He
He is scaring Horneedle the hell away.
Yeah.
Horneedle like, fuck this shit, I'm out. This is probably the laziest art, like even more so than Mantis.
Well, and the funny thing is, we had a card before this that did this effect, but this just does it way better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah,
Yes.
so, like, art design-wise, like, this one has some interesting background comp, like, you know, Horneedle's in there and is like, yo, bro, get away from me. You stink.
Yeah, or maybe or like Steamboat just like
Like, Stinkbug has a little bit of a sassy pose.
sassy pose, just like I have the high ground. You're gonna smell me no matter what.
It's over, Anakin.
He has the slightest hint of a musky aura on this card art, but it's not really selling that.
It's red for some reason, which bothers me.
Yeah, it's the fog effect is very weird. It doesn't seem normal. So, Natria Stinkbug, a level 3 Earth Insect Tuna, 200 attack, 500 defense. When a face-up Natria monster you control is selected as an attack target, you can send this face-up card you control to the graveyard to negate that attack and end the battle phase. Yes, this is way better.
Well, he's a worse battle fader, but he's a way better butter. I always forgot what the other one was.
It wasn't Butterfly.
Butterfly.
Butterfly. I wanted to say it, but it sounded wrong.
I thought it wasn't
That
Butterfly.
phase
Yeah,
attacks?
Yeah.
He's a worse battle fader, but a way better butterfly.
Yeah, and just in general, you know, like cards that, you know, you go -1 to end the battle phase and negate an attack. That's pretty decent, you know, like negate attack is an okay card at certain periods of the game. So it's better to get advantage. Like, it would be better if it, like, negated the attack and destroyed the attacking monster and ended the battle phase, but sometimes you just need to end the battle phase, and for most decks, your opponent can't win unless they have their battle phase, so it's just yet another turn you can stall them out until they get tired and they flip the table. And then you play Beans, which burns them so you can win on time. You burn them just a little bit so you win on time.
Naturia just sounds like the most unfun deck to play against and with.
Yeah, it's a pretty hardcore control and even more control-y than that, like stun deck.
But it's not like a fun, like, control decks to me are fun. This is a pure stun.
Yeah, I would
style
say
deck.
some control decks can be fun because, like, there's that back and forth of, like, you do this, well, I can do this now, or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I did not realize this card art was that bad until I got up close. All right, are y'all ready for Naturia White Oak?
Oh yeah, this art is up
This
there.
guy.
Okay, I've just realized Beast is in this tree. We have to play this game. What are the stats on this tree?
He's like a level 4, 1300 attack, 800 defense monster.
Check.
200 attack, 1800 defense monster.
Oh, lots going on.
Level
High defense
4.
again.
Average to like 1,000.
What level, Marth? Do you have a level in mind?
I guess 4.
Well, you guys have all guessed correctly. This is a level 4 monster. Now this card is bigger than Guardian. It is an 1800 level 4 plant.
Okay, that's honestly. I'm looking at this card now. not terrible stats.
No, it's just I would like to, once again, Beast can fit in this thing, and it's just like I'm not sure what the scale is here, guys. This is a big ass tree with a
This is
weird,
an interesting effect that I don't think
weird-
is bad, but
I have to. We talked about like the effect and stuff, but I have to draw your attention to. Let's put a smile on that face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't say it is.
It's not the worst art. Like, I still think Guardian is way worse.
Guardian's fucking weird, man. But this is
this,
just
th-
like
this has like
Who's
Studio
not
Ghibli art vibes to it.
Hoomst.
Oh god, it does.
Hoomst decided to make this smiling tree, man. Like, I feel like this tree's gonna pull out a fucking switchblade.
Well, like I mean, this
You know
definitely
what?
has like My Neighbor Totoro, House Moving Castle, like
No,
vibes to it. But
unironically, you know what this reminds me of?
What's up?
Okay, there was this series of horror books for kids that they made a weird film adaptation of recently, and they all had this type of smile, and I can't remember what this
Oh,
is
Scary Stories to
called.
Tell in the Dark.
Yeah! No, this looks like, let me pull up,
Give me some comparison.
I'll
also,
give you the image.
I just realized another monster that is on this card. Ladybug is on there. Ladybug is massive.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Ladybug's fucking swole. Look how big Ladybug is. Once again, I will draw on the football board. So, compared to this, like all this here.
Well, there's also the fact that if you look at Ladybug's art again, he's on a leaf, so that has to be a gigantic fucking leaf.
Oh no, well, you know how big the, we'll get to it, but
The Naturia
that tree
nature.
is.
Is it a valley? It's a
Forest.
Is it forest? Naturia forest. Naturia woods. In the lost Naturia woods, things are bigger there. Okay.
No, yeah, some of these stats make sense now.
But yeah. So while
But yeah, no, this is the art I was talking about in Progression Tournament.
this is absolutely some fucking. Hold on. How huge is this? That's very
Th-
huge.
th- th- This is some like yokai. I'm looking
Yeah, I'm
at.
about to say
All
like
these-
this.
all these
I'm
red
gonna
arrows.
fight this in Tokyo Ghostwire. later this
No,
year.
this is all American. It's just all of this person's art is
Fucky.
I
stylistic.
mean, I know it's American art, but I'm just saying it looks like a yokai. Is what I'm just saying.
No,
Yeah, it has
this
big
one in
yokai
particular
energy.
definitely does. No, I don't disagree.
It's a giant.
like-
It's a giant fat lady that absorbs you into her. It's fucking creepy.
This is this person's rendition of a scarecrow.
It's an abnormal type.
Anyway, so
Scarecrow?
Naturia White Oak, 1800, obviously, like we said, level 4 plant effect. When this card is targeted by an opponent's card effect, you can send this face-up card you control to the graveyard to special summon 2 level 4 or lower Naturia monsters from your deck. They cannot declare an attack and are destroyed during the end phase. So this is kind of a weird response card, but it lets you fetch 2 level 4s. Which is useful. I don't think Naturia have a level 4 tuner. I think they've all been like level 3 or lower.
I think so, but like it's an interesting effect. I would say that like this card feels like it's played in anime where the opponents don't read cards and act surprised when things happen.
Yeah, like, obviously the thing is you have to bait your opponent into targeting it, but it's got 1800, so they may just
I
want to
mean,
do that anyway, right?
It's pretty easy to target to force people to target stuff.
Okay.
I'm-
Now,
I'm
it does say, I
more
will point out,
saying
it does
that-
say lower, so
yeah.
this means you can instantly go into... This basically lets you set up any Synchro summon you like.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if they could go for an 8, but you can
Well,
basically
also
go
you
like...
could-
Anything that isn't Leo Drake, but basically whatever they
Yeah.
want.
But also, you could do double cliff and just search anything.
It's true.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of nonsense. I think the only thing is being able to bait the target on your own terms, because your opponent is going to know. So...
And they're gonna do it on their turn because they're destroyed during the end phase, so they won't stick around for
Yeah.
you to
Well,
have.
which is
but
why,
obviously that's why you would go for like double cliff, right? It's like,
Yeah,
okay, well
double
these guys
cliff
are gonna
is
blow
no
up.
good.
I'm just gonna double cliff. Fuck you, buddy. Okay.
Like, I think it's actually a pretty good card, just because.
Oh no, like you know what it reminds me of, Dallas? It reminds me of rescue cards, right? Like this is the Naturia version of Rescue Rabbit or something.
This is balanced rescue cat.
Yeah. So like
Like,
It's very interesting, and it certainly helps that sub theme we talked about with Naturias of the spamming. So we have another card. By the way, so that was all Hidden Arsenal 4. This is our last card that comes out in a relatively timely fashion. This is from Photon Shockwave in 2011.
Oh,
so this is we're into the Xyz era now, but we're still like pretty close to the others. We will probably not talk about this card forever because this is Naturia Maron.
You missed one.
Maron.
Which one did I miss?
You missed Eggplant.
Okay. Well,
Good
I'm
old
limited by
Eggplant.
what the wiki tells me. So apparently, it doesn't. Whatever set that was released in, it doesn't believe in them. Oh
Right,
wait, no.
same
Okay, I
victory.
see. Was it a TCG exclusive?
I think it might be.
Okay, I see
Yeah.
where the era is. Okay, yeah. So I didn't check TCG sets. So Eggplant was released exclusively in the
No.
TCG and Extreme Victory.
Never mind. It wasn't. It's just released after this card. I didn't realize it was in extreme. It is in the next set.
Yeah, there's one or two more main deck boys we have to talk about before our final one, I think.
Because it's in Extreme Victory, which I believe is
Sure.
right after.
No, Extreme Victory was the last 5D set.
Oh, never
there's-
mind. Yeah, then.
Yeah,
There's
so
a
I'll
strawberry
I'll pull that up
eggplant we
next.
haven't discussed.
Yeah, I'll double check the sets.
Because trust me, I remember Eggplant for a very specific reason.
Looks like
Eggplant is fun.
This is the worst art in all of Naturia.
We're already on.
In my opinion.
We're already on Maron. So
Yes.
Oh, Maron.
Wrong.
I mean,
Look
it's,
at this
it's
thing.
adorable.
It's a
I
little.
don't know what a Maron is.
yeah, I'm about to
It's-
say I don't know what it is.
Naturia Karibo is what it
Okay,
looks like.
Let's
I'm just getting Mark Maron, which is not. It's not correct.
probably not then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Its name derives
Oh.
from the French word for chestnut,
Yeah, chestnut.
Okay.
which the French word for chestnut is maroon.
Interesting.
Okay, no, I found it.
Sure,
So apparently
species
this
of
is what it
bird
looks like in plant
purposes.
form.
Okay.
Where'd you put it?
Which I could see that.
Okay.
Now I can
yeah,
see it.
That
Yeah,
makes
I can
sense.
see
that
that.
fits the thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Speaking of other weird shit, by the way, I gotta double check. What OCG set was this in?
Shonen Jump promo.
No. Yeah, Eggplant was a promo. Strawberry, I was looking up, was like because that was in a battle pack exclusively in the TCG.
Oh Jesus.
Oh no, it was also in Trishless Tramp. How did I miss that? I Control F'd all those cards. So we'll do Strawberry then Eggplant next. I have no idea how I missed Strawberry. Like I Control F'd Naturia in the card list for sets.
Yeah,
So-
'cause I was thinking about Strawberry because first of all, Strawberry is one of my favorite arts because it's adorable.
Yeah.
But yeah, Maron is just the. Let me see how big this chestnut image Dallas has. It's pretty big, so we'll have to shrink it. But you can see the comparison here. It's pretty on the spot. It's just that plant, but with
It's
eyes.
just,
Big.
So we'll resend that slightly.
I mean, like we're obviously not seeing the chestnut inside of it, but I think they're just going for the fuzzy aesthetic, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So this is a level 3 plant Earth, obviously. 1200 attack, 700 defense. And this has a good effect. Like for a late gen Naturia monster, this is pretty
oh yeah,
decent.
no.
When this card
Yeah,
is normal
this is
summoned,
good.
you can send one Naturia monster from your deck to your graveyard. There's that graveyard setup we needed. Once per turn, you can target 2 Naturia monsters in your graveyard, shuffle those targets into the deck, and then draw 1 card. So it's got a scrap recycler type effect as well.
Another soft once per turn. So
Yes.
I don't know how you would cycle these, but you could, and you would get advantage.
Yeah.
So
And
this,
in a plant deck, dumping plants into your graveyard is never a bad thing.
Yeah.
So
Fertilizer.
Like
can
and like
definitely,
which and like as we've I think I've been pointing out a lot. There are a lot of soft ones per turns that I think are the main reason that they haven't touched Naturias with a 10-foot pole in the last few years.
Yeah. Well, also it's just a looming specter of like fucking Phoenix Cluster Amaryllis bullcrap.
Yeah, they've seen enough plant FTKs to be like
There's a
they have
lot
to be
of
very
fucking
careful
plant
put a modern Naturia card because it could easily break
If
this thing.
yeah,
wide
like I
open.
said,
After
like
they
there's
think
a
of plant,
reason.
it's
There's a
fucked.
reason why they don't have like a like what even would be the Link 1 in Naturia, right? Like what would that be? That would have to be horrifying, right?
Naturia Acorn.
No.
It would be some. It would have to have some effect that's ungodly because the problem is there's no way that Konami would. Well, okay, I guess they could do the
Would
swarm
it have
effect,
to be an
right?
Omni
Like
Gate by depending on what you discard?
Well, I like to say I think they could do like a Link one as like the simple version, like, you know, once per turn when your opponent activates a card effect, you can, you know, special summon Naturia to a zone this points to, and it has like one down arrow. So like you could do that. That's not very good though. But what they would probably do is they'd probably make dog shit like it would be a Link one with a forward pointing arrow, and then just the card that this card points to can't activate its effect. Fuck.
Omega, clearly during the debut of the next special summoning archetype or special summoning method, Naturia is going to be one of the new featured archetypes.
No, actually, I have an interesting thing to add that I've never heard of this card before. There's a Sylvan Link in the OCG that is very, very interesting. It's excavate top 3 and summon two plant monsters that are excavated.
Yeah, no, that the Sylvan Link is really fun.
Yeah, that can be very usable in Plantix in general, but we're getting off.
Dancer, right?
So, Strawberry, because that was supposed to be in Hidden Arsenal 4, and no idea how the fuck I missed this. So like up close like this, I have questions, not necessarily concerns, but questions now that it's all blown up.
Yeah, his stem is just the body.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, also remember, because we've seen the scale of the Naturia thing, this thing is fucking huge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is the size of a man.
Probably human sized. So the strawberry is eldritch in size.
Big
It's like-
strawberry.
I still
It's
love
super
this
dopey.
art. It looks so happy.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
no, like this has the cartoony aesthetic we're talking about, right? Like it's just, you know, happy and shiny and, you know,
It's,
joy.
it's
Is
more
it-
the real life
is it
question
free-
of
is it, like-
how big is this thing actually, and how terrifying would it be to see this hopping and skipping towards
Oh yeah,
you?
I was very like, is this card just total fridge horror of being like, what? The
I mean,
fuck
it's
is this
got
thing?
it's a 4-star with 1600 attack, so yeah. This is
I don't know.
those fucking memes coming out of the Arceus leaks of giant Pokemon.
Oh my god! Don't! Oh my!
Step
fucking
on me.
Long Palkia is haunting my nightmares.
I'm just thinking of the fact that they've got like Gardevoirs and Baneri. You know, somebody of the dev team knows what the fuck they're on about. That are like twice as
you
tall
mean
as
the
humans.
actual giant Pokemon.
Yeah, no,
No,
they're
but
just.
Have you seen?
Yes, I have seen
design
the
of
leaks.
Long
I don't think we
Palkia?
want to discuss it, but like, yeah, there's some interesting
It's
stuff.
so bad.
It's weird. It's weird. Pokemon is weird, guys. Why do they keep
Look.
doing this?
Because
No,
They
The
stole
thing is,
Electrode's smile and optimism.
I love all of the other new designs, and then there's just fucking Long Palkia and Long Dialga that are just awful.
But so this is Strawberry.
What the
Anything
fuck
else about
about
its
Strawberry?
art
Sorry.
phase?
It's got an interesting effect.
Yeah, so its effect is, I already spoiled its attack stat, you know, in level. Once per turn when your opponent normals or specials a monster, target one of those monsters. This card gains 100 attack times the level of that monster until the end phase. This is probably one of the best attack modulation effects that the Naturias have.
There's only one problem with this card.
Doesn't work on Xyz monsters.
Yeah, Xyz Era came out next.
Yeah, this
With-
is literally just before Xyz, so it was probably pretty hard cockbuckled. Because unfortunately it is 100 times, so when your opponent summons Goblinberg and you realize you've lost, you can only get 400 attack. So when they make Utopia, you're still fucked.
Well, and also in general, like if they summon Blue Eyes, you're still going to be 20. You're still going to be 600 under. So like there are big enough monsters that would be able to get over his attack modulation.
Yeah.
This is
Blue
still
Eyes
not
the
the
metric.
right strategy for this deck.
No.
Yeah,
But
it's going back to that idea of not negating, just responding to things that your opponent does.
Just
but-
being
but
irritating
not in
for
a
your
stuff.
opponent to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm annoying you. I'm annoying you.
Okay. We have to talk about Eggplant because I've looked at
yes,
this up
we do.
close. There's something. Speaking of Eldritch, so this is
Yeah,
called
no.
Eggplant. This is not a plant. This is like
What
a
is
bee.
this art?
What is going on
Uh,
here?
Wh-
It's
why?
called Naturia
Okay.
Eggplant,
Is
but
this a weird concept art thing where they were trying to do like the thing of it's plants that are also insects at the same time?
well, that's what
But
all
this-
Naturias have been. But usually their name is like this should be like Naturia,
Wasp?
yeah, or like Naturia Purple Bee or something. You know?
Or also, its eye is horrifying.
Yeah, its eye is
I feel
fucking
like- I feel like-
huge.
Has there been an
This
Naturia
feels
Fly?
like Eldritch. This feels like Eldritch horror.
Like an
So
actual
I want
fly?
to let the audience know. Do you want to know how
Right.
big this eye is? That's its eye. all of that is the eye. Okay?
Omega. No, I know what this card is. This card is actually one of the cards designed by that AI Twitter bot, where like it's seen Naturia cards and thinks it knows what a Naturia card is, but it missed the naming scheme of the Naturia
Didn't
card.
Didn't it make a really good like machine? Link?
Oh no. The effects of the cards designed by AI, you should follow that bot. It's amazing. The effects of those monsters are usually fucking good because it learns from Konami, and Konami makes dumb things.
At first, I thought, of course, this has to be a mistranslation because that's usually what the explanation is. But no, in Japanese, it's just Naturia eggplant.
Yeah, and also, like I said, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, This came out as This was a V-Jump promo first that was imported in a core set. What the fuck? What the actual ungodly fuck is happening?
Oh, this card bothers me so much.
There's so many things to be bothered. Why does it have a fat ass? Why is its fat ass pointed towards the camera?
it's an
Why is it
eggplant.
also a
It's
bee?
thick. Yeah, no. Why is it a plant?
Yeah,
Because it's an eggplant.
I don't.
But why is it a bee?
It's so
Because
like
it's an eggplant.
this fuckles the design aesthetic of Naturia so hard while sticking to it so much. I'm like,
Also, why is its antennas sideways?
it doesn't make any
Like,
sense.
like all this card needed was a different name and it would be fine. But they went for the egg
Well,
design.
it is
the
also
art-
Dallas did talk about it's got a plant type, so it should be an insect by normal Naturia rules, but it's not. It's a plant.
Look at its antenna; they're sideways.
It's so
Yeah, like
weird.
it's very weird because like when we look at Naturia cherries and stuff, like it's just cherries that have they're anthropomorphized very slightly.
Pumpkin's a pumpkin. Strawberry was a. I mean, strawberry had a body like a human man.
Still,
That
it was still a
weird,
strawberry.
but it was a
like, it was a
yes,
strawberry
definitely
that was
strawberry.
just made a little differently.
This
It's
isn't
a little different.
like most of our Naturia fruits are. Hey, what if a fruit had arms and legs? This is like a Naturia like clearly they needed a V-Jump promo that week or that month and they had nothing. Konami didn't have anything, so they took this art off the concept art field and said, "Make this a monster now." And it was like, "Okay, but it doesn't look like anything. Shut up. Make it."
Also, this art, just the eye is the thing that's throwing me entirely.
Yeah, when you stare into the baleful eye of the eggplant stares
Yeah,
back.
no, this feels like. Actually, knowing the full lore of the Naturia tree, this makes perfect sense. I take it back.
Okay, so Nitria Eggplants affect, it's a level 2 1,700 plant, by the way. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can select one Nitria monster in your graveyard, except Eggplant, add it to your hand. So this is middling recursion. You are playing a Synchro deck, so it's fairly common that you'll be sending monsters to the graveyard without necessarily waiting for your opponent to pop them. So you can then use that to recycle, like you can get your tuner back. So that's okay. Not the best, but not the worst.
It's very average.
Yeah. Why the hell you would play that though in this ungodly, abomination? But yeah, it exists. So I think then
Wait,
that is
what the heck?
most of them. If I've missed some more besides, so we're going to the second fusion now
Oh,
because that's
that's
way later.
so dumb.
Now, is the one after this the trap?
The Sacred Tree comes out basically last.
'Cause-
Can I say something? Can I say something hilarious?
What's up?
What?
Naturia was actually played. Naturia cards were actually played in a 2020 tournament winning deck, or not
Was it
2020.
the Australian? Was it the Australian YCS?
No. This is a real deck.
Okay.
They were played in Naturia Cliff specifically. Was played in Adamancipator.
It is a
'cause
rock.
It's a rock. And
Yeah,
it
it's a
summons
rock.
itself.
It's a rock and it summons itself, and you synchro
Yeah.
climb in that. That's correct.
Yeah, no, I can see that working. But when we get to the trap, I have everything pulled up, so I would prefer to be the one who just explains the lore.
Yeah,
of
you
the-
can explain
of
because
that
the
trap.
art
No-
isn't
no
actually
problem.
that meaningful off the gate, but it has implications. But I believe whoops, I got my pen on again. I believe our last monster to discuss of Naturia for now is this lad, Naturia Gaius Trio.
No. There's one more.
Okay, you're gonna have to tell me what it is because I can't find it in the list.
Well, it's not officially called a Naturia card, but it is.
Oh, you mean
keep it
the,
a sacred tree.
the
right.
other? Yeah,
No, the Synchro monster.
Leo. Leo. Keep it a sacred tree.
Leo.
I said.
Okay,
keep it
yeah,
a
that's
sacred
correct.
tree.
Yes,
You cut out. Sorry, Vesper.
you did get a little muffled, but I caught what you meant. Yeah.
That's
So
great.
you're
But,
right. We should
Gaia
probably mention
Trio
that before we do
is-
that.
He's all of them. He's all of them.
Yeah.
So I will pull up. But yeah, so, and that makes sense. Gaia's Trio is a semi-generic. It's just any two Earth Synchro monsters.
Actually, I think this is Leo mixed with Leo Keeper of the Sacred Tree mixed with Leo Drake mixed with Landois because he has the back, he has the flower.
Yeah, I'm seeing it says on the the discussion. The line seems to be, and we haven't gotten to Elsworms yet, so this won't make perfect sense. But the line seems to be based on the trivia on the website is, and I'll pull up Leo to compare to the two.
Yeah,
if I can
Leo
find Leo's
is
card
Leo
art
Drake.
earlier. Yeah, but with an extra thing. But let me really quick grab if I can find Leo Keeper of the Sacred Tree's art in full somewhere. And if not, I will have to manually blow it up. I think I'm gonna have to manually blow it up. Internet,
yeah, okay,
why
he's Leo mixed with Landois. Okay, I see. I didn't have seen Leo in a while.
Yeah. No.
So, please hold while we do some editing, but you can see the comparison. So,
because Leo pulled a Shadal and decided to take.
Leo Keeper of the Sacred Tree here you can see is Leo Drake, but with a real face.
And also, he picked up bits of all the dead Elsworm.
Specifically,
and
he is
like,
wearing
hey,
Evil Swarm Ouroboros. Oh,
yeah.
That was a weird snip.
Like, hey, my friends killed you, so I'm gonna wear you as a hat.
and then Gaia's Trio is Leo, Keeper of the Sacred Tree, beefed up even more with Landois.
Yes.
Because canonically, Landois and Leo Drake are the only two that survive the Illswarm incursion.
So Leo came out first, I believe. Yeah, Legacy of the Valiant. So, I mean, he's wearing some Elswarm shit on him. That's why he's got weird spikes for no reason. He is a level 10 synchro. And he is a generic, he's generic, but also he is a 2-mat. He is 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters, 10, which is very valuable to us because sometimes you can make 10s. He has a very, very Naturia effect. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects except during your main phase 2.
Yeah.
So non-targeting is fine, but other than that, it's like anytime other than my main phase 2, you cannot target Leo Keeper of the Sacred Tree. Get fucked, nerd.
Which means sometimes you could just skip that phase.
And he has 3,100 attack. And then Gaia's Trio has 3,200 attack, so you can tell he's bigger. He is also a rock now. Leo, Keeper of the Sacred Tree, was still a beast, but when he becomes Gaia's Trio, he is a rock now. Level 10 fusion, 3,200, like I said. 2 Earth Synchro monsters, so any 2 Earth Synchro monsters. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets exactly one card on the field, not one other card, and no other cards, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, negate activation, and destroy that card. So it's not as universal as just negate a spell, negate a trap, negate an effect, but it is very simple where it can negate anything that targets by just discarding 1 card. So Gaia's Trio also pretty good.
Gaia's Trio is also similarly, he doesn't have a this must be fusion summoned. Like, he's very easy to get out, actually.
I mean, you could literally metamorphosis Leo Keeper of the Sacred Tree into Gaia's Trio.
Well, even not, like, because he's just 2 Earth Synchro fusions, right?
Yeah, no, you can cheat him out pretty easy.
Yeah, you can do a lot of shit with that one.
Is Underworld Fighter Balmung Earth or Dark?
I think it's
I'm
dark.
pretty sure.
Okay, it's Dark. There's got to be easy Earths you can just make, and then Miracle Synchro Fusion.
Yeah.
I think there's
there's
Scarred
Metal
Warrior,
Marcher,
which is generic, which is like a level 5, but that's only for
Metal
warriors.
Marcher?
Yeah, Martial
I'm
Metal
saying
Marcher.
words.
We know that guy. He's it's a card.
He's very good.
So this is basically, as you can see, Naturia is kind of like Ice Barriers in that they're very persistent. These guys last all the way to the Evil Swarm era, which is fairly late in Dual Terminal.
Yeah.
They actually last longer than that.
Well, yeah. So I'm going to snip this art because I don't think, other than the fact that like Yes. Compared to the original Leo Drake, Leo Keeper of the Sacred Tree and Gaius Trio look way more baller. There's not a lot to say.
Like, well, and not to mention that Gaius Trio is just Leo, so it's like there's not much to say about Gaius Trio.
Yeah, he's Leo, but with Landois's shell on his back.
And like ankle bracelets.
Yeah, he's got some new gubs. So I am pulling up the art for. If
I'm gonna pull up another piece of art for you to add as I go into.
I literally have opened up the image search for Naturia Sacred Tree, and there are several other things that are shown on screen. Of similar trees.
So
here, let us begin. This is Naturia Sacred Tree. I'll leave it over here so we have plenty of room to work with.
We were talking about Ghibli earlier.
So Naturia Sacred Tree, it is the basis of how the Naturia Forest came to be.
Yeah.
Now, during the Worm War, all that shit happened, where the Naturia survived, then the Evil Swarms happened, then the Shadal invasion happened, and the Shadals uprooted the Sacred Tree, revealing the Qliphoth, the Sephiroth, whatever you want to say, the literal like the 10 Qliphoth thing.
Yeah.
A giant computer program created the Cleaves as a defense network.
Which, thanks, Axe. Okay. But in doing that, awakened the Qliphorts to come to this world and try to activate it. And in activating it, it absorbed all of the Yangzing like orbs to then release the Infernoids. And after the Infernoids happened, and the Sacred Tree was just basically the Sacred Tree just erupted these things to awaken the Infernoids. After that, the Zephyra came to being, which are basically all of the various survivors of these different archetypes that were part of the dual terminal lore, all became imbued with the power of the Sephira, because the Zephyra are called Sephira in Japan as a play on the Sephiroth, which Zephyra doesn't really have the same wordplay implications. But the reason that the Zephyr archetype is like 5 different archetypes is because they are the last bastion of the dual terminal world.
So you see this jump up in the art of I hate and love Qliphort names in the TCG, I should say.
Yeah.
Because you see the Sephiroth elements in the card I'm about to try and find the art of.
Well, yeah, and all of the spoiler, the computer is not technically based on the Sephiroth; it's based on the Kabbalah.
Well, yeah, but they're referred to as the Qliphoth and the Sephiroth.
No, I understand. Yeah, the Sephiroth is just the Kabbalah, but not connected to the
Sorry,
bottom.
I had to shrink this one a little. So
like
this
a
is the
dangly
card
peanut
that
looking
in the OCG was just called Apocryphort.
Yes.
Apocryphort. In the TCG, Johnny Konami was a smartass. This is climate change. Like climate change, but clean.
Climate change.
That's funny.
Like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with these.
Well, yeah,
they are
no.
such dad joke groaner puns, but like also fucking climate change.
You should be very glad that they changed the names in Japan to make them easier to pronounce. Because it would be Molchamach is one, Chenechras, Mechrucht.
This card also shows up in Void Domains.
Pod, which is kind of easy. Gurnfracht, Berat, Keter, Chakma, I already went over that, and Hesed and Tiften.
Well, yeah, because from what I understand, like a lot of them just straight up take the actual the Hebrew names.
Yeah. I have a picture of this.
So after we, and also I forgot to pull up the art because we got distracted. But Vesper mentioned that the reason why it got activated was because the Shadals attacked. You can see Leo Keeper of the Sacred Tree in El Shadal Fusion, where It looks like Winda or somebody is like,
it's turning it on,
I'm
yeah.
touching your tree.
It's like you really shouldn't do that.
And then
Up the Yang Zing card.
the tree pops out, and then this is 9 pillars of the Yang Zing once it begins
Yeah,
to fly.
the 9 pillars happening are, I believe, is it absorbing the 9 other pyroxenes to form the Clyphot and thus awaken the Infernoids?
And then
Yes.
you can see it get beat up in Void Imagination, but I'm not going to pick it out because that's a very very close-up picture.
Right. So
Well, because
basically, the
this-
Infernoids happen, and then the Clees happen. Okay.
No,
Well,
the
yeah,
Clees happen.
No Clees? Because the Clees are just the protectors of the Sephiroth.
Yeah, because I
Yes.
thought the whole thing is the Clees actually purge the Infernoids.
Well,
No,
the whole
the Cleeforts aren't evil. They are more just a force of nature designed to protect the Kabbalah.
Yeah.
the
So,
Sephiroth,
well,
whatever
and
you
they
want.
speaking
become the
of,
villains
speaking
after
of the
a very specific
pyroxenes,
thing
right?
happens.
So, like, we're gonna get to El Shaddai eventually, and this will make a lot more sense. But we have to like do all the archetypes. It's like doing Evil Swarm. We have to do all the archetypes that lead up to Shaddai. But El Shaddai Grista, the fire one, is that's a Gem Knight boy that's holding all these gems in it, and then
It's Grista and Karen Gorgon, but both of them are involved in that.
yes, and Karen Gorgon is like Leo, where very clearly this is supposed to be like an Evil Swarm type situation, but its name is not archetype locked.
so this is
But
actually,
if you look at Sacrifice, Grista has been killed, and all of its orbs are flying up to the flying tree.
it's actually based off of a concept called, oh god, I hate Hebrew sometimes. Called Shem Chama Pavaramash. I don't know, something.
Gesundheit.
Basically, an inversion of virtue, which is if the Sephiroth is turned upside down, it is the sins of all of mankind, which I think is what the Infernoid were supposed to be.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I think, because I don't remember what card this is from, but I will pull up this art next.
I think it's Void Expansion. If you're pulling
Actually,
up,
No,
the one
not
with,
Void
like, all the-
Expansion. I'm not gonna like pull up that one. This is Zephyr World Tree, I think.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Zephyr
yeah. So
World Tree.
Zephyr World Tree is oops all the orbs.
Yeah, that is the.
Yeah. Actually, Omega, just
What's
I think that like we explain what the Clee is. You can just go do the Clee thing in Master Duel later.
Actually, yeah, there's a Klee story art. If you guys are looking for Klee, we can pull that up. I'm
Okay.
sure I will be annoyed, but there's one last. I think this is the last time we see the tree. Yeah, this would be it because this is kind of this is some late game shit. So this art might be a little big, so you might have to shrink it. Yeah, it is. So
God, I
this
can't
is the
wait till they
card.
put the Infernoids in.
This is the card Zephyr War. So you can see in the background while the Zephyrs are doing some war, the tree is just on fire. Back
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
the tree is not having a great time right now.
And I think is that Infernoid Tierra? It's one of the big Infernoids.
I believe so.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
is, I'm pretty sure that's got to be one of the big Constellar lads whose butt I'm looking at.
I think it's like Zavraxa, maybe. No, it's not Zavraxa.
Let me check. It'll be in the trivia page. Trivia.
I'm just pulling them up
Tierra
one by
Source
one.
of Destruction. Oh, so it's Tierra Source of Destruction, the big version. And it is Zephyrath.
Zephyrath, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and the Infernoids really give the game away because
Right, because
if you know anything about their names,
because what Zephyrath is, what the Zephyrath, he has all the Zephyra, he has all of the Clephot combined with the 9 powers of the Yang Zing. That's what's going on
Yeah.
there.
And he is punching, like we said, Tierra, the embodiment of destruction, which is the ultimate biggest bungusus of that whole situation as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's
all
a
of
lot
the
of
Infernoids
Sacred
are
Tree
named-
that is only minorly adjacent to Naturia because he is part of Naturia. Everything else is nothing at all Naturia to be involved in Sacred Tree's lore.
No, all the fucking the Infernoids are all named after or technically Kabbalic demons. Like is it Satan, Beelzebub, Lucifer, or Lucifuge? Sorry, that's a different thing. Lucifuge, Rufuscal, Astaroth, Asmodeus, Belphegor, Baal, Adramelech, Lilith, and Nechamath.
Good old Adramelech.
Well,
they
and-
also-
and the interesting thing that they did was to sort of get around it. they just chose random language translations of the names to still have the human aesthetic, but to not just call them like these names that people regularly recognize as demons.
Well, I think actually one of them they just gave up and called it like Lucifugus or something. Oh no, it's Astaroth. Astaroth is just called Astaroth.
No, I'm looking at the English TCG names. We have.
Oh no, the TCG name. I was thinking the OCG.
You've
name.
got Primaris is the TCG
which
name,
is from Latvian,
Shaitan.
Which is it's Latvian, which is originated from Satan.
Yeah.
Antra, Lithuanian of Beelzebub.
Yeah.
Harmatic, which is
Harmadic.
Hungarian. So yeah, it's a lot of like Eastern European languages, basically. is what
Which
I'm saying.
works, you know, like they all sound like intimidating and weird, but
Well, also, all of
without
those
just being
areas-
like the satanic panic problem. If you had literally, as Dallas said, Shaitan, Beelzebub, Lucifugus, Astaroth, Asmodai, Belphegor, Baal,
Belphegor.
Andromelech, Lilith. I think the only one that's not common is the 10 one.
It's much more
Nehemoth.
based off of the. It's much more based off of the Kabbalah one because if you look at all of the countries, those are all countries with heavy Jewish presences at one time.
So
Well,
they
which
did their
I
research,
think it's on
but like,
purpose.
yeah.
Yeah, well, because they're directly taking it off of the Queef. Did I almost say Queefoth? That'd be a
Yes.
very
Yeah, you
different
did.
book. Queefoth.
And keep in mind,
Which
by the way,
I'll
that,
give you-
I'm pretty sure that we talked about this before, but I'm pretty sure that summoning the Tiara, the destruction-y one, which is that's the opposite type attribute. That means we have to come forth, Sophia, Goddess of Rebirth, to bonk everybody and get this shit out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Sophia literally just hits the reset button. She's like, "This is just fucked."
Which,
What is Sophia's
because of
name in
what is that,
Yeah.
Dallas?
What is Sophia's? Oh, Sophia's Sephiroth. Okay, never mind. I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think the end of the dual terminal lore is that during the Zephyra Infernoid War, Sophia comes up and is like, "Guys, you fucked it up. You all fucked it."
No,
I'm
I
just
thought-
hitting
And
the
then,
button."
then
Going back.
there's the other thing that's heavily implied because the card that appears at the end of World Legacy, Avita, Rebuilder of Worlds, Dual Star God Avita, has the same naming convention as Sophia and Tierra. So that heavily implies that when Sophia reset the world, that became World Legacy.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
implied that, yeah.
watch, Albaz is going to do the same fucking thing, and they're going to make another one at the end, and it's going to be like, oh shit, that was
I
World
mean,
Legacy again.
The weirdest thing about it is that in the Albaz lore, they're already having a bunch of things pulling from another dimension already.
Oh yeah, no, Despia is invading from like the Dark World or some shit. The problem with I'd love to do those archetypes and talk about their lore. The problem is that they are constantly in motion. Like every new set, another new archetype in that flavor, and another fucking Albaz comes out. Like that's what I'll be doing Fail Portrayal about in 10 years when I'm almost 40 years old and you guys still don't pay me enough money.
But
Yeah,
as-
like the main problem of doing it on like I just said it.
Yes.
Like we just cannot do a failed betrayal on modern archetypes just because of the fact that there's always new stuff coming out. And
I don't know. I
could
think
do
we're gonna do a Fail
Dogmatic,
Portrayal and
technically.
Spiral. I'm pretty sure that's done.
well, but Spiral is not part of any lore though. Spiral's its own-
Also, Spiral that's the other thing. Spiral's not that new. That stopped several years ago now, Dallas.
Spiral also technically has like a spell
It's only 2
self-contained
years old.
narrative, kind of.
It's 2022, Dallas.
But yeah, like
3
the
years.
main problem is we could cover new archetypes as long as they are not connected to a
Yeah,
lore.
like we did Kaiju earlier. I don't know if they're going to print more Kaijus, right? They could, but they don't need to. So we covered like that was relatively new. And like
I don't
was
think
spread
they're
over
ever gonna make
several
more
years.
security force, sadly.
Oh, I think they will, because those guys are all. I mean, that might be the end of Time Thief Security Force side driver, but it also might not. Because like that's also because IP Masquerena is technically part of that as well.
Oh yeah, it's all.
I'm just happy that we're gonna eventually have to do Yang Zings because they're a part of it. Because that,
Yeah,
spoiler,
no.
artistically, that is my favorite archetype.
So this is
You
our
don't
big
say.
ender here is And I think it's quite interesting, right? We talked about how Naturia, in the terms of the early dual terminal lore, was such nothing. Like, it was literally just, well, in the Allies of Justice, they're the Earth guys, I guess, except X-Saber already exists, so why do we care? And then, because nobody cares, like, Konami was able to go like, hey, wait, what about those Naturia guys?
Well,
Did we ever resolve that?
Nothing actually.
Like-
So, to answer a question in chat, sorry. Nothing actually killed the World Legacy world. They just kind of reset it again.
The Demiurge
Crusade,
gets
yeah,
summoned, Avita Rebuilder of Worlds gets summoned, Super Giga Super Avram, Super Saiyan God Super Avram jumps into it and explodes, and he gives the world key to Ib, because she's back alive again. And then...
Like I said, like, if you thought the World Legacy lore in the Master Duel is complicated, you ain't seen nothing.
It's
Ma-
not,
World
it's not that
Legacy-
complicated if you just follow the first 2 arcs.
World Legacy is done. We could talk about it. We will all... It's like doing dual terminal. We will be here for literal months.
Yeah.
Maybe do the Master Duel thing first, I guess, and then do it.
Well, I will do Master Duel before we'll get through all the archetypes on Fail Portrayal. Because we've been going for 3 hours, which means I think this is a decent Fail Portrayal. Naturia was big.
Well, I will wrap up to answer a question in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sure there is
Field more
Ancient Gear
questions.
lore, but it's so disconnected from everything else that it's probably just kind of Karakuri or something where they just kind of chill out. They're
Now, I want to
machine
throw that out
building.
there. By the way, Konami, if you're thinking of free updates to solo mode, Ancient Gears. That's also an Earth Machine deck. You could give me, like, vanilla Ancient Gears, and then you can introduce, like, the Link and the Fusion monsters. That'd be pretty rad. Please do that.
Yeah, because like the cart like Gear 10 and stuff implies that like they are a society of like militaristic-esque like robots.
Wait. The Karakuri got the golden gears from something.
There is a Gear Town. That would be an interesting... You could totally, like, make that connection.
The Karakuri are run by magical golden gears.
And I was just imagining Axe in that meme of Always Sunny with the board.
Yeah, and I would also like to throw. I would also like to
Who is
throw out
magic?
in Japanese, it is not ancient gear; it is antique gear.
Yeah, it's an antique gear.
Which, it's not as cool sounding, but that makes sense.
Like I mean, like the general idea, like there is no real difference between ancient gear and Karakuri. It's more just Karakuri has a Japanese aesthetic attached to it.
Yeah, they're also made of wood instead of completely stone and metal.
Well, that's the Japanese aesthetic, Axe.
Yeah, that's that. They are karakuri is literally a puppet style from Japan.
Yeah, I know.
But like,
Yeah.
there's definitely some interesting shit you could do, and you could do hybrids. Like, I can already see the dumb Konami hybrids. Like, one of them would be you'd have to play like Ancient Gear Gadget versus your opponent running like Ancient Gear Machina or something.
I mean, Ancient Gear Gadget's pretty good though.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, but I'm just thinking of like
Ancient Gear
Machina, where
Machina.
like, yeah, I'm gonna pitch Ancient Gear Golem to summon, to make Citadel or to make what's his face?
Well, you know the thing about Citadel is it just pops out of your graveyard whenever.
Yes, I've
happens.
noticed. I have been beat up by a Japanese player playing Machina Gadget and just limited.
I need to make
Citadel.
that actually. I might actually win games.
I mean, Machina is now a functional deck with that new support they just got.
I mean, Ruin Force.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
that's
that's
the
not
thing.
out yet.
Machina would also probably be, because it's had so many waves of support, that would be another, not to send Axe through the stratosphere, but like that would also be another interesting solo mode, because there have been so many waves and you could like, what is the Machina Armored Force doing? What's their thing?
It does seem to at least be not a narrative, but at least seems to be like layers of like equipment they have.
Yeah, and they have like,
So it could
they have
probably be like
things are suggested by their spell and trap cards,
it could be
right?
like the Glad Beast story where it just talks about their premise.
Yeah, the Glad Beast storyline is cool, but also weird.
Yeah.
But let's see. So Worms appeared. I'm just double checking what our next archetype would be. God, I'm
wouldn't it be
scrolling so
Fleet?
many through the fucking. Okay, so Worms appeared, Ice Barriers, Mist Valley, you know, all those guys. We formed the Allies of Justice.
Oh no, it'd be
We need to do
Ilform.
Gishi, right? We did do
No,
Gishi.
we need to
We-
do
we've
Gen
done-
X. We haven't done Gen X yet.
Oh god.
Gen X.
At least those look cool. They're not good though.
No, they do not look good.
I think some of them look cool, but
Some
they're not
of them
great.
do, some of them don't.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Some
so
of them are
we've got
kinda
a
lame.
lot of. We got a lot of Gen X
Oh,
shit to boil through, and
There's like 3
then
types of Gen X and everything.
we've already done
Yeah.
Fabled and Jurak. So
I
the
think we've
next
done
one would
X-Saber.
be we've done X Saber. After that, and we'll have to wait for a week when Robin can be here.
Well,
I think
it'd
the
be-
next one in our time list is Dragoonity after Gen X that we haven't
And then
done
it'd be
already.
Vion and then
Ariana.
Ilform.
We need to
Yeah.
do
Does
Gishi,
anyone,
right?
does anyone need extra copies of Variana? I have like 5 of them.
Which one is that?
Vajrana?
Variana.
I think I'm good.
I think it was like super, and I got like 5 of them somehow.
Oops. But yeah, and also we should point out with Gen X, which we will do. I think what's the best card to pull up to preview for next time?
Do you want a bad
Gen
art
X.
or a good art?
Batman.
we have to.
No, I know the
Oh
one.
my
I'm
God.
scrolling. I know exactly what I gotta do.
Controller. Come on.
Yeah, but I have to do controller in a particular way.
Oh, okay.
A delete. It's small. It's a very small image. We gotta double
Like if
that.
there was every mascot for Gen X as a controller.
But also, what if Sag?
Oh right.
Oh yeah, spare.
No, not spare. This is the art of the spell card Final Gesture.
Yeah, final gesture.
Yeah, because I do think Gen X is a little Sag.
Oh no, yeah. Gen X's part in the lore is to be the punching bag.
I mean,
But,
yeah, that's just meant to be, yeah.
Gen X is very, very. They Konami literally tried to make Gen X 3 times. Like they made Gen X, and then they made our Gen X, and then they made Gen X Ally. So they
To be fair,
they kept trying to make it work for a while.
In the 23 cards they made, one was meta-defining, so I guess it kind of worked.
Yeah, and then the next thing after that is finally after Dragoonity, because Dragoonity starts after that, is Steel Swarm. And
Well, the
only
Violence
then can we start to explain shit like Vylons and L Swarms.
Oh right, Violins are after Steel Swarm. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, Steel Swarm comes out first, and then they suck. They all get their asses kicked, and then they get worse.
Because it turns
And
out
then
they're
a
actually
virus
just giant
happens,
vessels
and
for
everything
evil.
goes to crap. That
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
And then eventually we have Gusto, so David can be happy.
Meh.
Vylon's gonna be a fun episode, though, because those guys are fucking geometric, bro.
Lovall, so I can be happy.
Yeah, levels are after that as well. Levels,
I mean, levels
level
have
balls.
cool aesthetics. I think at least levels actually look
I
kind
love
of cool.
Lovalls.
Nah, they're good. They work.
They have a
Nice
weird mix between like
darkness.
being like mechanical and then like hierarchical, like hierarchical. Like
Spoiler,
castle.
Loval's one of the decks I'm considering for tomorrow.
And also, Gem Knights exist. That's Gem Knights is another really weird one because Gem Knights, like X Sabers, Gem Knights were a dual terminal archetype that somehow made the jump to Arc 5.
It was Constellar, Gen X, just Constellar, Gem Knight, and X Saber.
Yeah.
Because they needed a fusion, XCs, and Synchro to go with the aesthetic idea of
Yeah.
having one of each to kind of to parallel the main character or main or side character who's going to become that summon type.
Yes.
And then they made, they didn't do anything good for X Saber. They made Constellar pretty good, and they broke Gem Knights in half.
Basically.
I don't think they even give anything to X Saber.
No,
they
we've
go-
not done Raid Raptors. We could. That might be on our list. Let me pull up the grand list.
Respect. They gave X Sabers one spell card and one trap card.
I don't even remember them.
They
One
don't
of them is
do anything
recent.
very good.
Gotham's car. Was it Gotham's second call?
Yeah, got him second call.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray Raptors is Phantom Knight / Ray Raptor. Should be 2.
No, and Time Thief. Don't forget.
No. In the lore of the anime,
Oh,
it would be.
I was just thinking about deck building.
It would be. We would have to like. Probably not all at the same time because there is a fuck ton of Raid Raptors and a fuck ton of Phantom Knights. But like we would have to do that as a 2-part series: Phantom Knight, Raid Raptor,
Well, yeah, 'cause,
Yeah.
I mean,
Ending
Raiders
of Raiders Night,
exists.
I assume.
and then
Yeah.
probably do like either do Raid Raptors first and then end on Raiders Night, or do Phantom Knights first and then end
Well,
on Raiders
we
Night.
have to finish Dual Terminal first, which we won't do for like a year.
Well, we can pepper in other stuff that's appropriate, but yes, Natria wasn't even on the master list, so we'll scratch it off. But we have some other shit on there. I've got shit like Necros, Synchrons, Gem Knights are already on this list.
Well, Necros we can't do until we finish all of
do-
Dual Terminal.
We did Gishki already, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
It's
anymore.
not struck off on the list, but I'm pretty sure we did do Gishki finally.
I
Pretty
don't-
sure we did.
I think we talked about Gishi when we were talking about the ice barrier. Because
Did we show
Gishi
some of the
used
cards?
ice barriers in mirror.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, I don't remember talking about Vision or Light.
And
Maybe we didn't do Gishki yet then.
Yeah, we
No, I
didn't
don't
talk
think we
about.
did.
We just talked about the cards that later
Okay.
became.
So
Gishi
actually,
from
yeah,
Ice
we have
Barrier.
Gishki to do as well in that cluster.
Oh right, no, yeah, because we just talked about we talked about like the latest.
Right.
wave of
Actually,
Ice
that's
Barriers
right. The
before.
reason why we were waiting on doing Gishki was because We need to work through all the early guys so we
Alright,
can
they're
explain
gonna
what the
go.
fuck the Gishki monsters are.
That's fine.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye. Actually, not bye yet.
I don't know what's happening. I missed something there.
Dallas is going.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Dallas is
yeah.
going. All right, I see now. I was like, what? Huh? What? I looked away for a sec. Okay. But yeah, I'm looking at the list. We got a variety of different stuff we need to work through at some point.
Did
Dallas put
add
Zodiac
in
on this list. We're going to
Zephyrs.
hurt ourselves. I mean, I've still got the classics. Like, anytime anybody wants to just do a clusterfuck. Yeah, I have Phantom Knights and Raid Raptors still on the list. But I have the big ones on here. Like, all of Blackwing is on here. Six Sam is on here. I have Red Eyes, Dark Magician, and Blue Eyes / Eyes of Blue if we ever want to die. Also, I gotta warn you guys, I'm very salty because of Master Duel. If we do Blue Eyes / Eyes of Blue anytime soon, I am going to spend so much time kvetching about how much Dragon Dick Konami sucks. Only Blue Eyes is a girl, so, you know, take your own there. But, like, goddamn, has Konami found literally every way to make Big Bungus Blue Eyes cannot target be destroy?
Stop saying Chaos Max. He's not playing it.
But I just fought against the Chaos Max.
But like,
oh.
there's so many boys like that. Whereas my poor Red Eyes is like even our fusion is like hobbled, and they won't even let me play the broken Red Eyes card. I can't even Dragoon pass, guys. It's a crime.
I mean, that's how I felt playing Pure Super Quantum when people realized that Red Layer and Blue Layer were an amazing tribute engine, and they just banned my cards. I'm just sitting in the corner crying.
Yeah, and you're like, but I don't even want to do the dumb thing. Why? Everybody's doing the dumb thing. Fuck. See, if they banned Vert on Master Duel, I wouldn't have to worry about this problem. Then you can't hijack my fucking deck. You got to play Red Eyes cards.
right.
But yeah, we have some other stuff in here we can talk about. We want to wait for. So we have plenty of things to work from. But yes, I think our next one should be Gen X, and then that probably leaves us free to pivot to Gishki or Steel Swarm, whichever one we feel more like doing. If we want to get fucking destroyed and laugh, probably Steel Swarm, because oh boy, those guys, those motherfuckers. But yes, well, I mean, you say that about Sandbell Respell, because that's like 4 cards. It'd be over immediately.
Also the spell traps, but yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah, I guess if you did that, you'd have to talk about Wavering Eyes and
The whole-
shit. But like
Like the whole storyline, yeah.
It's short. It's just a short theme.
Like 10 cards, but hey, it's on them. Or I wonder if Unchained is a thing. Unchained's cool.
I mean, you can put it on the list
like-
if it's not on
It's
the
like
list
15
already.
cards or something.
I have realized that I think we do, because Armed Dragon is struck off, but not the other dumb level monsters. So talking about the LV monsters, other than I think maybe we talked about Horus. But that's just an excuse in us dying. Look at
It's
Allure
Horus-
Queen. Look how bad she is.
Well, I think the problem with doing the other level monsters is that there's not enough to talk about them just mildly changing.
Yeah,
He
I
is
mean,
Silent Magician and Silent Warrior.
there's
Oh.
a couple that are interesting. Some of them are not.
Here's their
Most of
kid
them
if
we'd
they
just be
fucked.
laughing at, like, look, Dark Lucius is even stupider now. Look at how big his shoulders are. He is dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
it would basically be us just losing our shit over how Dark Lucius gets worse looking. Then everyone's kind of like, I mean, it's the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, and
Hey,
like I said,
was
we
happy
would
I managed to
read
bend
Allure,
you with his
um,
effect.
we would read Allure Queen's effect and just be like, oh, right, this monster sucks. This is the worst. But
Right.
yeah, so
I think like the eventual payoff is okay, but you're never going to get to it.
yeah. Nah, it's not. It's not worth the ting. But yeah, so this has been the failed portrayals. Had a nice 3-hour. Dallas had to go. It's getting later. It's after midnight here. We know what we're doing next, probably, which is Gen X. I do not know if we will be back Tuesday or not. We'll see. But I am eager to get more failed portrayals in here so we can keep chewing through this stuff. Oh my God, Greffer. There are a lot of Greffers. That could probably be an episode.
Oh yeah, the Greffer and
Library.
Warrior Lady.
Grepper
storyline.
DD Warrior Lady like storyline thing.
Yeah.
And how like Greffer literally has a thing where he has branching timelines.
Yeah, that's literally a card.
There's like 3 of them. Actually.
Warrior Greffer is Link, basically.
But can it also?
No,
yeah.
you're thinking of Dark Greffer. Dark Lucius is not a Greffer. Now I can see why you would make that mistake.
Did he become Dark Lucius?
I don't think he does.
He does. I thought he turns into Dark Lucius.
I
Like, that's what it
I
is.
don't know what
It's
the
like-
logic is. I
'cause it's
hear
like-
Martha's furiously clicking to try and find
Sorry.
the logic.
Because I know the storyline is like because there's art of him turning into Dark Lucius as he
but
fights.
but
Warrior
there's
Lady.
also Dark Greffer.
Well, no, the thing is like there's 2 things for like his dark ending where he becomes Dark Lucius or becomes Dark Greffer.
I don't think there are.
I don't think there are.
It's Dark Greffer, Light Ray Greffer, or Chaos Greffer when he becomes both.
Anyway, I feel like we're gonna call it there.
Yeah, we're going down there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call it a night. So,
Yeah,
see ya.
we have already previewed. Gen X is coming. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that. Like I said, I will be back Thursday, I think, for more.
While we're still on air, from taking a look at it, it's just a reference to Lucifer. That's all I can really see from Dark Lucius.
I mean, the trivia page says that he's related, but I'm not seeing what the. Okay, hold on. Dark Lucius is a falling down version of Warrior Digreffer, but that just looks. I mean, hold on. Different dimension encounter. Oh, okay. So different dimension encounter is Light Ray Greffer looks at Dark Lucius and does the fucking Spider-Man meme. Okay, I guess that's true. I thought that was Dark Greffer in that. That's really weird. I think they decided years later that that's true because,
Probably.
I mean, there's also Sakuretsu armor, which is apparently like the first Dark Lucius, but that's very clearly just a random ass thing they designed.
yeah, they just decided to. I feel like they tacked it on later. But also, I would like to say Warrior Digreffer isn't about like 5 million like generic spell and trap cards. He's everywhere. That motherfucker is. That would be a funny storyline, but we're not going to do that right away. We will see you guys next time. Like I said, Thursday, tune in for more Master Duel. I'm probably going to go... I don't know if I'm going to play ranked right now. I'm in gold. I might have a hard time. I got other shit to do. I'm going to go about my business. I'm going to let these guys go. Don't forget to watch Prague as well. We were recording that tomorrow. As you can hear, Vesper is here. Back from hiatus. Yeah.
Back from the banished zone.
And you can't
After
tell the
thousands
difference
of
in life.
years, I lay dormant. I forget the rest of that line.
It's not a
Who
good
dares
one.
awaken Oach, you guys?
But that's a quote. Whatever. We're not here to go down the line. Anyway, we have 8-man Prague for, I think, the first time ever, finally.
It's gonna be probably bad.
It's gonna be a fucking mess.
Stuff will happen. And I'm sure you'll be interested to tune into it because this is still in B.A. Shadal Necros format, guys. So get ready. Anyway, I'll see you later. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, bye.